thank you to the fine folks of anyweatherclothingco.com. We received our first piece of merchandise, which was a nice little snapback hat. Aaron was our first customer when it came to that. Checked out the hat first before we let it go public. Aaron, what do you think of the hat?
I'm loving it. I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah, you are. That's true. I can testify to that.
You actually made me wait another 30 seconds before I could actually wear it.
Right.
You made me do an unboxing video before. I just wanted to rip it open and put it on.
Of course, right.
As soon as I saw it, I wanted to put it on. You're like, no.
You can check out.
Damn it.
You can check out that unboxing video, which was very steadily shot with my soft hands, on Instagram. You go on Instagram, that's at B.S.N. We love anyweatherclothingco.com. Go there, check out their stuff. The hat is officially in their public market. You can go right to their store and pick up the BS Nerds hat.
Yeah, and soon to be BS Nerds t-shirts.
There's going to be a whole bunch of BS Nerds swag. So thank you, Adam. Thank you to the folks at anyweatherclothingco.com. Go to facebook.com/anyweatherclothingco. That's the letters N-E, Weather Clothing Co.
Hold up!
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with it.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row. Let's go. My name is Dave. This is Joe. Let's go. This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the BS Nerd Show. Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have talked a lot. Nothing left in the tank. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to the 31st episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the BS Nerd Show. My name is Dave, and of course, I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here, Aaron and Joe. How are you guys?
What up, what up?
What up?
What's up?
All right, so no one answered the question. So just no. Okay, that's all right. You're off. So no one wanted to answer the question, I guess.
Long, rough day.
How are you?
I am here. I'm
Crazy
here.
day.
Yeah, nuts. Traffic fucking everywhere. Busy day. It's nuts. It was beautiful outside, too, which blows.
It was very nice out today.
Because I was trapped in a warehouse all day. So that sucks. But we do have a probably wildly less interesting podcast this week since we're coming off the Michael Hawley high. That was a great conversation. I don't feel like we really got a chance to dive too much into the post-game analysis on that last week. So what did you guys think? I know we said it was cool. We enjoyed it. But what did you guys think of the show?
I think it was cool.
I still think it was cool. Yeah.
I've listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
And some, we've talked about it a lot, but off the mic, but it was just awesome.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of...
There was a lot of, good hidden gems in there that,
You re-listen to it.
Yeah, you hear it again, you're like, man, there's a lot of good info there, and I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation. I can't wait to have him back.
I think that was what I was going to say. I took away that we opened up the dialogue.
Yeah.
Now we can really dig in with him about sports and what we really want to talk about. I'm not saying I didn't want to talk to him about, his books and all that, but, we've done that onto what we do.
Right. So you heard it here first. Michael Hawley, fourth man in
for the
BS Nerds.
I think on a weekly basis we can do that. Yeah.
From now to the end of time.
Right. Michael Hawley, we're just waiting
signing a lifetime contract as soon as his WEI.
Have you tried the number?
Huh?
Have you tried the number?
No, I haven't got.
I'm surprised, Dave.
Yeah. I should text him hey, where's that retweet?
Probably just needs Papa John's pizza.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's probably one of those
he
call forwarders.
He called you from a Papa John's.
But as far as this week goes in sports, we had a early retirement, which really was totally unforeseen. Yeah. I didn't. He signed a contract 6-8 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Right. There's that guy he was a good linebacker for San Fran. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, the 25-year-old kid.
Yeah, just retired.
Right. Just up and quit. But
a little different. That kid only played 1 year.
Right.
But he was nasty.
No, I get it. He
was I made enough money. I'm out. I'm not gonna risk damaging my brain anymore. I'm not gonna hurt myself.
Said he didn't care about the money.
Right.
He didn't. He knew they were gonna come after him for most of it. So he said, he's like, I don't really care about the money. I just
Right. But he
I'm
said
good.
that I made enough money to support myself and my family. Like, I'm good.
But he didn't make that much money. He made like I know $100,000 isn't.
Yeah, $100,000. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
No, that doesn't.
I would take that
in
for
the-
1 year's work, and then.
Oh, I
you know,
get that. That's
He
what I'm
made
saying.
more than
Yeah,
100,000.
he did. Yeah.
Yeah, but after they came back after him for
Right.
stuff, I think he might have taken home 200.
I think that's good money if you spend it into something.
Right.
Yeah, no. I don't think he's stupid for walking away. I think it's
I think his name was Borland.
Borland. Yeah, that's true.
yeah he.
It's a deep cut for not being a Niners fan.
That is a deep cut.
But no, his reason for walking away is I'm pretty sure they said that he had like spoken to what was it Bowman, the other middle linebacker,
Carl Bowman, yeah.
and who's the other guy?
Willis,
and they both kind of like after listening to them and playing that one season, he's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. That's true.
So the guy that did retire,
Andrew Hawkins, the New England Patriots wide receiver.
If you want to call him a Pats wide receiver.
Yeah. Cup of coffee.
Never really stepped foot with a Pats uniform.
all 5'6" of them.
Tiny
Dude. Tiny dude. I didn't realize he was that short.
small. I didn't know that either. But
I think they brought him in to be like a kick return.
That's what I
slot
thought, maybe.
guy.
Yeah.
I know he was a pretty good slot receiver.
Yeah,
Yep.
he was a good player. Yeah, I mean, he was more than serviceable.
The last thing they need is more receivers.
You can
No,
never have
last thing
enough
they
receivers.
needed was more slot receivers.
The last thing they need is any receiver ever. They don't
can
need
never have
any
enough.
receiver.
Can never have enough.
They have receivers on the bench that like rookie receivers that
Right.
I just saw a thing about how don't forget Devin Lucian is there still, and
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, exactly. We're not even going to get to see frickin' Mitchell.
You'll see Mitchell.
I'm telling you, his snaps are going down.
I think he's your third receiver.
I think
he's your third receiver.
His snaps are going down.
I think you have Cooks on one side.
Cooks is not an outside receiver.
Neither's Edelman, but he is.
He
They
is
line
in
all
the
those
New
guys up
England's
wherever they
offense,
want.
man.
Right. He was New Orleans' number
They're
one.
gonna
2
go.
years ago.
They're gonna go 3-4
You're going to have Dwayne
wide
Allen
every
on the
down.
field. You're going to have Gronk on the field. You're going to have a running back on the field. You're going to have
Sometimes
Cooks on the field and Edelman on the field.
there's still another receiver.
Not with
No.
two tight ends.
Okay, yeah, right.
I don't think they're gonna do that as much as you think they are.
Dude,
I think that's the perfect formation. I think 2 tight ends, Edelman and Cooks, and Mike Gillislee in the backfield is literally, you can do everything out of that formation.
That's true.
And the defense is not going to know what the fuck to do.
right.
Okay.
You can't play dime.
I disagree, but polite.
I think I do agree with that. That is
I
their
don't.
best. That's their best.
You don't think that's their best formation?
No.
You know, Dwayne Allen's like the best blocking tight end in football.
No, I get that.
So then, what's better?
Dude,
than,
how-
what,
I
would
don't
you-
that's like
want
how
two
would you-
tight ends on the field.
That's a
Okay,
power
but
Am
run.
I the only one that believes that?
No, Aaron. No, I'm just asking you a question.
That's their
What do
most
you-
versatile-
What do you think is a better formation?
I already
I'm asking.
said.
You said not 2 tight ends. So does that mean 5
Okay,
wide?
so
Does that mean
three,
fullback?
three,
Does I form?
three
Like, what does-
with a
what does it
running
mean?
back in the backfield.
I don't think you run as well out of that.
You don't.
You don't need to run as well. All you need to do is set up the play action. Why are you running? What is the point?
Why do they have 5 running backs then?
I don't know. I don't want them to have that many.
I'm just
running
saying,
backs.
You need to run the
I
ball.
only think they need
I'm not
essentially
even
2
saying-
to 3 running backs and cut everybody else.
You need to run the football. You need
A
to be
little
able to
bit.
do that. No,
A
you need to be
little
able to do
bit.
that a
You
lot.
got to run the football to set up the play action.
They rushed for 18
little bit.
touchdowns last year.
Okay, because you had a fat back that could jump over a couple people.
You
in
have
the
a
end
better
zone.
back.
Yes. Okay, so you don't need that extra blocker. He can actually make a cut off of a block that an offensive lineman
No,
makes.
but I'm
they
saying
do-
to confuse the defense, you don't have a more versatile
there.
offensive formation than 2 tight end, because you can literally power run.
Right from there.
you could.
You can
or you
literally
could drop back and let all 5
You
guys
could-
go out and catch
you
the
could
ball.
run the hurry up offense and have 10 different formations with that same offensive set on the field. You move Dwayne Allen into the backfield and have him play fullback, and
or Gronk.
or
He's done it
Gronk.
before.
Yeah,
Right.
you still have 2 tight ends. You can throw, you can run, you can power run, and stretch the field.
See, but if I'm going to power run, I'm going to put Devlin in there, and I'm just going to.
I don't think
go
Devlin's
up
a
the
better
gut.
run blocker than Gronk or Allen. Devlin's good, but I think that I would rather the size of Gronk or Allen hold off my outside rush than Devlin.
I disagree.
Yeah, but the thing is,
it's conversation, Aaron.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go back and forth.
If you put Devlin in there, who do you take out? Allen?
No.
So you want Gronk out because you're saying you don't want.
If you're saying you're going to run the ball, we're going to run the ball down there.
Because now you're telegraphing that you're running the ball.
Then you're definitely running the football.
Well, if you're saying that he's such a better run blocker and he's
one of the best in the league. Yeah.
Okay, so then what?
But I'm saying you can get pretty much a similar outcome without.
You asked me what the best formation is. You didn't say the best hurry up formations. I'm talking about just, hey, this is what we're going to start with. This is how we're going to come out.
Right.
This is what we're going to do the first 3 quarters of the game, not the fourth quarter with 2 minutes on the clock.
So let me clean this up. What you're saying, and I understand what you mean.
It's the most versatile one.
You can do anything you want from that. You can run. You can, as a defensive coordinator, you see fucking.
I see
Cooks,
2 tight ends,
2 wide receivers,
2 wide receivers. I go, give me a 4-3. I need a 4-3 defense on the field. A 4-3 defense cannot stop Gronk and Dwayne Allen if they decide to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
if you do all streaks on a 4-3 defense with Gronk and Dwayne Allen, and then you have Cooks and Edelman.
Right.
Or even if you just send Cooks and have Edelman come underneath.
Right.
Someone's open.
I agree with you, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're a defense coordinator. You see that formation. They're going to run, I think. Are they going to pass here? I don't know. Like, as a defense coordinator, that formation is so they can, like, what would you do? You're a D coordinator. You see Edelman, Gronk, Allen, Cooks, and Gillislee in the back. What do you think they're doing?
What do you do?
No, you're a defense coordinator. What do you think the Patriots are doing? You see that lineup, all lined up.
No,
what are they going to do?
What Joe's saying, you have all these options. What I do is I punch both tight ends in the mouth.
Yeah. That's a personal foul. So I'm
you know what I'm saying.
Kidding,
hit him off the line.
You hit him and you don't let him off the fucking line.
Right.
You hit him and don't let him off the line.
Easier said than done with Gronk.
I understand that, but
Gronk's the size of a house.
That's an approach.
Gronk's got a fucking bad arm every year. He's got a bad
wheel. All I'm saying is,
if
you try and press Gronk, you better win.
That's what I'm saying.
Because if he beats you, he's wide open.
That's a fair approach.
You take your best jamming fucking linebacker and knock the shit out of him.
Okay, but now what?
Okay, you stop both. So you're knocking the shit out.
And they hand the ball off with a draw up.
Okay, so you have a middle linebacker. You have safeties that come up for help.
Right.
If you're running the ball.
That's a lot of one-on-one coverage.
You have safeties over the top.
Right.
You have... If you have
good
cover corners, you don't need the best cover corners. You need good cover corners.
Now I float Gillislee in the flat.
All right, so
you have a safety and a middle linebacker to get them.
Without going over every single situational thing here,
I'm going to give you an answer. I'm not going to puss out on it. I will give you an answer.
No, I'm just saying my point is as a defense coordinator, how do you prepare for that?
I'm saying
you could have a good idea both from that. So how do you defend that? Like
once again,
you jam them, fine.
Yeah,
but
that's
not what I'm saying. I'm saying what do you think is going to happen? You're looking at that lineup. What the fuck are the Patriots doing next? Like
whatever they want. Your job is to stop it. Whatever the fuck they throw at you stop it.
But there are situations. There are certain lineups. Like if it was Gronk, Allen, Devlin, one wide receiver. What do you think they're doing? They're running the ball. If they're 5 wide, what are they doing? They're passing the ball. Right. What he's saying is that with that lineup, you don't fucking know what they're doing. So that's their best formation because you don't have a clear cut. This is what they're going to do. It's so disguised because you have so much flexibility with the athletes that they have.
I'm not saying it's not going to work.
Right.
What I'm saying to you is you can scheme against it.
Right. But what I'm saying, you can do that with
even
anything
the
in
idea
football.
that you had though. That's one-on-one coverage on Gronk. That's out. If I'm the Patriots, if I know I'm gonna get one-on-one coverage with a linebacker on Gronk, I'm calling that play every time.
See, you can chip the fuck out of him. You can take that linebacker.
You don't think they try and do that all the time?
And we see what happens to Gronk. He doesn't finish a full fucking season.
Right.
He gets hurt.
You're talking about a healthy Gronk. You can't play injuries into it.
No, I'm talking about
I don't think he gets
you
hurt being
fucking light
him.
You light him the fuck up for every play he's on the field.
Gronk is big. He's just as big as that linebacker.
I understand that.
He doesn't have a reputation of getting hurt being chipped at the line. He has a
No, he
reputation of
gets
being a maniac in the open
Well,
field,
yes.
having his knees blown off.
Eventually, that shit adds up to Gronk.
Right, yeah.
And
That doesn't help me this game, though.
Let me ask you a question.
it could. You don't know.
I still
He
want to
could
get back
get
to the
hurt.
question. What formation do you think is more dangerous
I already
as the Patriots?
said.
You just said not 2 tight ends.
I said the 3 wide with 1 tight end and a running back.
You think
that setup.
So if you're going to run in that play, do you think
Why
they're
not?
better? And let me ask. If you think that they're going to, or if the Patriots are going to run from that formation, are they better running from that than they are with 2 tight ends?
You can zone block that.
So yes, is your answer?
I think you can still be as effective with that style of play.
I don't think having 5 or 6 blockers is better than having 7.
I also
don't
think
that.
having 3 wide receivers move somebody outside. If you make the zone blocks and he makes a cut, it opens up the field.
Yeah, but to me, it's not a mismatch defense. I just call a nickel.
Yeah.
I just call a nickel defense, put a nickel corner on the field, and it schemes up perfect.
My point is, you can still block against that.
Right, you can.
And make a play.
So you think that running the ball with 1 tight end is better for the Patriots than running the ball with 2 tight ends?
No, yeah, I think you can do that.
Okay, all right.
I think it opens up more in the field.
I
think it opens up more on the field.
Right. Okay. No, and if that's your take, then that's good. I just wasn't.
If I want to run the ball, and if I'm going to go out there and just say, "Hey, man, fuck it, we're running the ball."
Yeah.
Today we're going to establish the run. I'm putting fucking Devlin in there and 1 tight end.
Right. If you're going to run, then I'm not saying. If I'm going to run, I want goal line. I want fucking 9 offensive linemen out there.
That was the problem with the Patriots last year. Was when they ran, they brought out Blunt. And everyone knew they were going to run.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You have a better running back that can actually make a fucking cut and actually outrun somebody.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's still...
And can still run somebody over, a safety over if he needs to.
I think there's more mismatches on the field in a 2 tight end set.
I think the fact that you don't have a fat Tubbleard at fucking running back anymore...
A fat piggy fuckface?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think you have Glenn Davis in the fucking backfield anymore. A guy that has to fucking, like... Dude, I don't care that he led the league, and I know he led the league.
He won the AFC.
I know he did.
He's a 1,000-yard rusher with 18 touchdowns.
I still don't respect him. I'm sorry, I don't.
I do side with Aaron on that.
I think Gillislee's a better runner.
Could do that
I think you have
if needed.
way more options with that than that fat fuck in the backfield.
Of course. Oh, Gillislee's
I'm not. No one's arguing that.
So that's what I'm saying.
I just think you have more mismatches on the field with 2 tight ends.
I disagree.
I would take Dwayne Allen and Gronkowski on linebacker coverage.
I don't think there's a better 2 tight end team in football.
No.
Than the Patriots.
No.
Like the Hernandez Gronk thing. I mean,
the
like
Redskins.
the history.
The Redskins might.
But
They're
they do
close.
it. They do
because
it.
they have Reed and
I think
Davis.
I think Davis is soft.
I don't mean
Vernon Davis was good last year.
I think he's soft.
I don't mean the level of talent at tight end. I mean there's no better team at at
using
the
2
tight end.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. That's on.
Yeah, no, that's what they want to do.
Right.
I just disagree with it.
Yeah.
Once again, I disagree with their offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
I don't like
Josh
him
McDaniels.
anyway.
Yeah, he hates Josh McDaniels.
I think he's a bad coach.
I think it's a good plan.
We could have chalked this up 5 minutes ago. I didn't even think about that. But like,
why do you? I'm
does
sitting
that.
there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I think that's a Belichick thing. I don't even think it's a McDaniels thing. I think Belichick likes 2 tight ends.
I think he does too because he drafted Hernandez and Gronk.
Yeah,
and he
his
signed
plan.
Dwayne Allen.
But his
he
idea.
signed Martellus Bennett. Like he wants to do that. You know what I mean? Like because Josh McDaniels.
Hernandez was not like to me.
He's a mismatch.
I'm almost as tall as Aaron Hernandez was. He was 6'2".
Right.
He's a mismatch.
He's a fucking fullback that had speed.
And he was in the open field. He was a menace.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You tried to tackle him one-on-one. It was almost impossible.
Any tight end is a menace in open field.
Yeah, he's a mismatch. That's what I'm saying.
That's
with
what
the
I'm saying.
2 tight end thing.
But he's not that tall. He's not a big blocking tight end.
Right.
I think
Dwayne Allen's not the same tight end.
no, that's
Dwayne
different.
Allen's
I think it's
Gronk.
different. I think it's a different situation.
Like a worse Gronk. Like a way worse.
Dwayne Allen's like a way worse Gronk, right?
But still, he's still a good tight end.
He's a good tight end. I think he's going to have a better run blocking year than he will pass catching year. Like I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, we brought in another tight end."
But he might be your end zone guy.
Yeah, he'll get. I mean, don't get me wrong. He'll eat on this team.
I just think
sure.
you're gonna. He will be more important as a run blocker than as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you'll see those games where it's
Right.
like, oh, I forgot Dwayne Allen was on the field, and now he has a 60-yard touchdown pass.
Right, yeah.
'Cause
I
it's
think
like-
he's going to be a very close version on this team to Benjamin Watson.
he's going to be Martellus.
I don't think he has that speed.
See, I don't think he's close. I was going to say the exact opposite. I think Martellus Bennett is a much better pass catching tight end than Dwayne Allen.
I think
And
he's
Bennett's
going to be
blocking was way underrated. Like he
he's going
wasn't
to be
known to be that
Martellus
great.
Bennett.
Contrast.
No, he's going to be Martellus Bennett when Bennett. He can't do what Bennett did when Gronk went down,
Yeah.
but Bennett's role when Gronk was there is going to be Dwayne Allen.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's going to be a
fair. Yeah.
He's not going to be able to be Martellus Bennett
What he became as the lone tight end.
Yeah,
Right,
when
right.
he was the lone tight end.
That's fair.
Because he's better. Bennett's a
Bennett's
better
a better
player.
tight end. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
I think a lot
what
of people,
you saw Martellus Bennett as when Gronk was on the field,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get pretty much the same thing out of Dwayne Allen.
I think that a lot of people see Dwayne Allen. They're like, oh, who cares? Like that we lost Martellus Bennett. We got Dwayne Allen, and I'm just sort of like,
I don't think it's that big of a drop off. There is a drop off though.
There's a drop off, and that's all.
Yeah, but I also feel age plays into that too.
yeah.
I think Martellus Bennett is losing a step.
Yes,
I'm not
he
saying
is.
he's slow,
Oh, no,
but
he
he's
That
not.
dude was a fucking warrior.
He's a warrior, but he's
No,
hurt a
I'm
lot,
not even shitting on him. I'm just
Right.
saying. I think
No, but he's on the back nine.
Father
for
Time is
sure.
catching up to him,
Right.
and he took a lot.
Did you
and
hear
I'm-
the story about him? No. He got locked out of the Packers facility because he showed up too early, so he slept there.
Doesn't surprise me.
Bennett's a fucking animal.
He's the black unicorn. It doesn't surprise
the
me.
black unicorn. That's true. That's his nickname. I feel like that didn't get played up enough in New England.
I didn't.
So we
just
I
kinda-
never even heard that nickname.
You never heard that?
No.
The black unicorn. Yeah, that's his nickname.
That's his own thing.
Self-given.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, nicknames never stick when you give them to yourself,
He said that
except for the Laser Show.
he said that a cornerback, I can't remember who, called him a unicorn because they refer to like really like tough catches as he just unicorn. Like you see that unicorn because you don't ever see him. You know what I mean? Like it's a tough catch, and he used to make those plays all the time where. Like, damn, see Bennett unicorn last night? Bennett unicorn last night? Like, you know, they would talk, like, players amongst the league or whatever, amongst themselves, and he heard a corner refer to him as a unicorn. Like, damn, you see him unicorn? He was like, damn right, I'm the black unicorn, whatever, and then he just, like, kind of self-anointed it. But if the Pats will be interesting, I'm really... I mean, as far as
I
Andrew
think-
Hawkins goes...
Well, no, I was going to
whatever.
say the whole offensive discussion we just had.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that matter? That's not the problem with the team.
Yeah.
It's their
No.
pass rush. Be honest. The only fucking issue you have is your pass rush.
I don't even
They can't
know
get
if I have
after
an
the
issue with it. I just haven't seen it yet.
I
Yeah,
have
it's-
I have a serious issue with it if you can't get pressure up the middle.
Right.
I think those linebackers / defensive ends are going to keep it contained, keep a pocket. It's the guys in the middle that have to give
Yeah, you're
pressure.
gonna have Trey Flowers in the middle though.
Sometimes,
he's
and-
playing D end in their type of offense.
They
Their
ro-
defense.
He's gonna
They
move
rotate.
around,
Yeah, they rotate.
He rotates, but I don't know if
There are
Maybe.
situations...
With
Maybe.
Coney Ely there and
Guy as another D tackle?
Coney Ely,
No, I said Guy.
Guy
With Guy as
Lawrence or whatever?
Yeah, Lawrence Guy, yeah.
Lawrence Guy. That's
Yeah.
it. And they have they still have
Valentine,
Vincent Valentine, Alan Branch.
no
Brown.
some guy G. His name.
Is this the same dude?
Gino Grissom?
Gino
Gennaro
Grissom.
Grissom.
This is the same guy that we talked about when you first came
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You're like, there was a steal draft pick that they had a couple of years ago. And then, yeah, it was Gino
You haven't
Grissom,
seen him yet. He's going to be on the end. Coney Ely's going to be on the end. You still have Ninkovich who plays defensive end.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot there. Plus, there's
Derek Rivers, their draft pick.
Rookie. Yeah, the rookie.
I think he's undersized though, isn't he?
He
Yeah,
is,
he's
yeah.
just meant to be so is Von Miller. He's meant to be a speed rusher.
Right. And, I mean, there are situations where Alan Branch plays nose tackle.
That's a whole nother discussion. Von Miller.
Von Miller, yeah.
That
You
one-
should do a podcast called #Aaron Speaks and just lay those ones out.
You don't like Von Miller?
No, I think he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah, that one trick pays you a lot of money in the NFL.
It does.
though.
No, it does.
It does, yeah.
That's
It does.
what he's only asked. The only thing he's asked to do.
Yeah, no, I think so.
But there are situations where Alan Branch plays like lone nose tackle and then like inside on the 4-3 and then also plays like outside on a 3-4.
Oh, yeah,
like
they move their defensive linemen all
so
around.
much with
Yeah.
those guys.
Malcolm
that-
Brown.
right, Malcolm Brown's another
Yep.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Some of those guys aren't going to make it.
Not to mention, you're going to have high. I think Malcolm Brown's safe.
I think Malcolm
Alan
Brown's
Branch
safe.
is probably safe.
I'm wondering if I think Vincent Valentine might be one of the odd men out.
Yeah, I think he might be because Dietrich Wise, he's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Those are their predicted.
Do you remember Brandon Diedrich?
No.
I remember the name.
Yeah,
I think Vincent Valentine, out of all of these defensive linemen, is the only one that's not safe.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's you look at that list. Aaron compiled a nice list from ESPN.
Maybe Lawrence guy. Maybe they're willing to cut him after. I mean, I don't think
they gave up like a 6th round pick. For
Van Noy is still there. That's right. Van Noy played good.
I love
played
Van
really
Noy.
good.
I love
Yeah,
Kyle Van Noy.
You know what that might mean though?
I think Roberts is out.
Roberts or McClellan. That's the only thing I can see.
I think McClellan. I think
I'm
they
okay
like
with
Roberts
that.
a lot.
I'm okay with it. I know you really liked him, and I
thought he had a good year last year.
I thought he had good moments. Same thing with Van Noy. I think he had good moments.
McClellan reminded me a lot of like Key Mayers that year. That
they have another guy on here that they didn't put up there. Jonathan Freeney. He's definitely gone.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because I like him a lot too. But
I just think Van Noy, as much as everybody's like, no, he's expendable. Like he's not that big.
Well, they just signed a corner, or did they bring him in?
I don't know. But Van Noy, to me, he had the green dot when Hightower went down. I was like, no, that guy, obviously somebody that Belichick trusts.
He gets it. Absolutely.
Brandon Flowers?
Oh, supposedly they're interested. I don't know if he actually came to town or not, but I did read an article about that former Pro Bowler.
You know, how old is he?
He's got to be like 6 years in.
He'd be your slot corner, though.
Yeah. I would take him as a third corner, though.
That would be insane.
I would take him.
They've been talking to him, yeah.
I have not heard a word about freaking, what's his name, Revis at all.
Yes, he's still just out there.
He's just out there, sitting out there. And once again, you said it was crazy that him and AP were on the, sitting out there.
They're still on the block for
Revis is still sitting out there. He cannot be.
He might be done.
Maybe.
I think
know.
You get through training camp, let some cuts be made.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's the guy that I think he's going to pull a little bit of a Brett Favre. Like, guys, listen, I'll come in when you need me.
Right? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots have a wink deal with him.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Just if we
once we make the final cuts, and that's Belichick's notorious for cutting one more than he has to.
Right.
Leave that
in
one in case he needs to sign somebody.
And also, he loves to see who else got cut.
Yes.
So he waits till the next day to see who
that he really loves.
Right. Yeah. And that was what was his name? Oh man, the offensive lineman that they took from Kansas City.
Oh yeah, Brian Waters.
If you think Mitchell's the third.
We do Chris Hogan.
Yeah, what does that leave Chris Hogan?
I don't. Once again, I'm not as high on him as Dave was.
Dude led the league, and
he's second in the NFL.
I get it. Like he can be the guy that you bring in when you go 4 wide. I think
Mitchell's the guy you bring in when you go 4 wide. I just think he's getting bumped out.
I honestly think that there's no such thing on this roster as first, second, third wide receiver. I think it's. By play, by situation, by format, by you know what I mean. Like I just think it's so.
I think you'll see games where Mitchell plays more than Hogan. There's going to be games where Hogan plays more than Mitchell.
I think there's two
depends
guys.
On how they like the matchup with the corner on the other team.
I think there's 2 guys that are never going to walk off the field when the offense is on the field, unless it's goal line.
Brady and
Edelman. Well, obviously Brady. I don't even put him in the conversation.
Edelman
I think
Gronk?
No. I think Gronk's going to come off the field.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
I think it's going to be.
They all come off the field.
Edelman and Cooks. Those are going to be the 2 that.
I don't know.
In between the 20s, they never. No.
I see Cooks coming off.
I think Cooks is going to be a part of the rotation, but I think he's going to be. He will have the most plays other than Edelman at wide receiver.
Edelman takes priority over Cooks as slot receiver.
No.
So when they go one slot, when they go single slot,
it'll be Edelman.
Edelman will come. Edelman will be on the field. Cooks will come off.
And I think there will be situations where
you're going to see
they'll go big with just Cooks out there because if you do a play action, he can burn. You know what I mean?
There'll be situations where it's Hogan, Mitchell, Edelman.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Cooks is on the sideline.
I think Cooks is going to play wide out a lot too. Edelman plays wide out a lot.
I just don't see Hogan. I think he was good last year.
Yeah.
I will not downplay a thing he did last year.
Right.
I just don't know if they're obviously extremely high on Cooks.
Right.
And I think he's faster.
He's
but Hogan is still a very, very good deep threat without sacrificing size, whereas Cooks is small.
Okay.
Right.
So on a
jump ball.
Let's say you're playing bigger corners.
Yeah.
I would rather.
He's going to be faster than bigger corners, though.
Yeah, but if you have safety help over the top, he's not going to body them, and he's just
going to be underneath.
So they're going to just press him.
I think Sherman would chew up Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, he's going to press him out of existence.
I think, like you said, you jam him, you chip him. You know what I mean? Like
once again, I think they're going to have. There's going to be
That's
other
why.
options.
That's where you have Hogan out there because
Right.
he
I
can
think
take
Hogan
a press
could-
and go.
Right. I agree. Yeah. I think that, like I said, I think that
I agree. I
Everyone-
don't think
I don't believe there's
field very often.
I just don't believe that the Patriots have a 1, 2, 3, 4 thing.
No,
with their depth
I just
chart,
think
you know
that
what I
they-
mean?
No, because their best receiver is technically a 3 receiver on any other team.
And their best receiver is the one that's going to get open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On every play, that's how they view it. It's like who's going to get open. I don't think that they even draw
Historically.
plays for people. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think, okay, this is a Grunk. Like, there's a Grunk fade here.
I think
priority number 1.
I think Cooks is going to get more ends around than Edelman.
He will.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
be.
yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Edelman will still run the end around, but I think you're going to see a lot. From
I think it's going to be a lot.
Do you guys
less.
want to take a little prop bet right here?
No.
Who winds up with more all-purpose yards, Brandon Cooks or Julian Edelman?
Well, it
Brandon
depends
Cooks.
on who they have return because that's a big thing.
Never mind return. Who has more
Just in his-
Receiving, rushing,
receiving,
whatever.
rushing? Yeah, offensive yards. Yeah, that's a tough one.
I'm gonna go Cooks.
You go Cooks.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna put up more yards. I know Edelman's gonna put up a lot.
I think
Definitely get more
I think
catches,
Edelman's
but
going to
yeah,
be
I think-
way more consistent than Cooks. Consistently involved in the offense.
So you're saying Edelman will have more yards?
At the end of the year, yeah, I'll take Edelman.
All right.
I think Cooks is going to be complete boom bust. Like there might be games where Cooks gets like 1 catch.
Yes, I do agree with that.
I think
Possibility.
you
I
saw
just-
him in a similar type offense with the Saints,
Right.
and he would disappear.
You're saying Cooks, right?
I just think that you have different weapons around him.
You have more
That's what I mean.
in New England.
That's what I mean.
I'm saying
I think it's going to
and
open up a
in an
lot
offense
for him.
in an offense that's just as prolific in New Orleans with less weapons. There were games where he wasn't even involved. Like he literally had 0 catches, played every snap.
I just think you're going to have more out of him than
I'm
New
gonna
Orleans
take-
got out of him.
I'm going to take Gronk.
That wasn't an option.
I don't know. That's tough. That's tough.
I think you all see.
I think Cooks will have like more 200-yard games or 150-yard
Yeah.
games. So you get like 4 or 5 of those under your belt.
He's going to have some big games. Like
Yeah,
I'm
he
not even going to.
I'm going to take Cooks.
I just think.
I think
Edelman's-
Edelman will end up with more touchdowns.
I think Edelman's almost a lock for about 7 to 8 catches a game.
Yeah, he'll have a really good year. He'll be plus 100.
Especially now, you can't focus on him. You're just going to forget Edelman's out there, and it's just like, all right, here I am.
Even though the
And
whole
it's
world
still Tom
knows
Brady's
he's
favorite
the
target.
binky. Yeah, right. Like he is his binky, but so what? You know what I mean? Like there's so much else out there.
I think that kind of proved it too last year when Gronk went down,
they went 11-0 without him.
and you saw what it was like when Edelman went down, and like Tom Brady was like,
right,
"Oh, I
right.
don't have Edelman. Like I have to. What am I going to do?"
That was tough. All right, so let's move on here. Another big name talking about being moved, like Brandon Cooks coming to the Patriots and all that, and Andrew Hawkins retiring. Kyrie Irving has demanded a trade, and I'm not really interested in like the national story of this, but Danny
I am
Ainge called.
though,
You are though.
because Cleveland is collapsing, which
Yes,
means my
right.
narrative of fucking spend the house now to be the best team in the East.
If they trade Kyrie away, you're already better.
Yeah.
You're ahead of
But
schedule.
I'm saying, imagine if you had, imagine
If
if
you
you,
had Paul
imagine if
George.
you made the
Especially
Paul
if-
George deal work.
Especially if they sign Rose. Oh my!
They did.
God,
They did. That's a done
You know,
deal.
Derrick
yeah.
Rose
that's
was not as
amazing.
bad as I thought he was last year. He
No,
averaged
he
like
was hurt again,
17
though.
points a game. Yeah, he's
on
going to
and
get
off
hurt.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Like you're
It's just a matter of when.
You're banking
Yeah.
on toothpicks, man. Like, that's a tough thing because his knees are fucking shoddy. Like, that is not good.
Did you hear the report that the direct quote that LeBron wants to beat Kyrie's ass?
If he was
Yes,
standing
I
in
saw
front of
that,
him,
yeah.
he would be tempted to kick his ass, yeah.
The
That's
report is
awesome.
that it was a direct quote.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
not
awesome.
even like
no,
a,
yes, Stephen
I
A. Smith
heard it.
said that someone that was talking to LeBron said, if Kyrie was in front of me right now, I'd be tempted to kick his ass.
LeBron's not beating up anyone.
No.
no. He's too worried about his balding head.
But
He needs to get Jay-Z albums early.
a lot of people are freaking out because Danny Ainge called, right?
Of course Danny Ainge called.
Why wouldn't he? He's Trader Danny,
And
that's his
He
name.
called,
Some
the
people are
Cavaliers were like, we want your 2030 first round pick. He was like, all right, fuck Kyrie.
Yeah, thanks for nothing. Yeah.
He's out.
But someone said to me, like, oh, man, you guys are really trying to get Kyrie? I'm like, no, Danny Ainge wouldn't be doing his job if he didn't call. You know what I mean? You got all this guy's available. But what are we looking at?
I think
Okay.
he's going to the Knicks.
No. And then you hang up. Yeah, the Knicks.
He
You're
said
right,
he-
because
I guess,
Carmelo.
I guess he wants to go to the Spurs. Like, that was the team on his list.
Right. There's the Timberwolves, Spurs, Knicks, and Heat.
I think you. I was gonna say. I thought you brought up a good point when you brought up like going to the Spurs. Was it either you or Jay brought it up? Him going to the Spurs. You're not the first man on that team,
right? So that's one of my
it's
things
not
is
your
that
team.
The rumor is that he was tired of being second fiddle.
You kind of are, though.
No, Kawhi Leonard's the best player on the team.
Yeah, but it's like a 1A, 1B thing.
No. Kawhi Leonard's not a
No. It is. It is a 1A, 1B thing. No. Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is because...
I think you service
Kawhi.
No. That's what you do.
No. Kawhi Leonard is a better player than Kyrie Irving. 100% agree.
By like 10 or 20 spots.
100% agree. He's not an alpha, though. He's not like LeBron. LeBron is dominating in his presence.
Right.
Kyrie would run the offense.
Well, he's a point guard, so yeah.
LeBron runs the offense.
Right.
And Cleveland.
Right. Colin Cowherd said the problem with LeBron is that
he's
not
dominating.
only is he a better basketball player than you, he's better at your position than you.
He's a dominating presence.
Right.
I understand that Kyrie's a better, Kawhi is a better basketball player. That I'm not going to dispute that.
But he's the face of the Spurs.
But he's not a dominating presence like that.
I understand what you're
So
saying.
Kyrie could go there. Kyrie could go there, technically not be better than Kawhi, but still be the alpha. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that doesn't make it 1B Spurs team. Like, he wouldn't become the face of the Spurs.
He could.
No, he wouldn't. Kawhi's the face of that franchise.
I was going to say, I think he would have to become like LeBron when he went to Miami.
Kevin Durant isn't even the face of the Warriors.
To Wade.
Yeah, and he's the better player, is what I'm trying to say.
Right, but what I'm saying is that he went to somewhere else. That's what I'm saying. He went to Steph's team, and Kevin Durant's the second best player in the league, right? And he can't even take a team from the face.
But I don't think it matters that he wants to be the face. I think he wants...
we don't know. We don't know what that quote means.
I think he wants to be the alpha. I think he wants it to be his team.
So go to Miami.
Yeah, but if you want to win, and
he wants to go to Miami. He said that. Yeah. It's one of his 4.
If you want to win and still have it be
a top 3 coach in the NBA.
All right,
fuck you.
Get out of here. I hope he goes to Miami now.
You have a young team. You have obviously a GM that's willing to fucking do whatever.
Imagine that he goes to Miami.
Yeah.
They actually make the playoffs this year. It's like a fucking lock that Spoelstra wins Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
Once again,
it's fucking nonsense.
Coach of the Year.
Yep.
Candidate.
Yep.
Come on.
It's bullshit. I think he's going to go to the Knicks. I don't agree with you that he would become... He still would be second fiddle to me to Kawhi Leonard as far as the perception of the team.
And I also think
I guess I could agree with that, but I think he would be the alpha in the locker room.
I think that's probably true.
I think the coach is the alpha in that locker room.
Yeah, but I think
there's not much.
When you're on the court, it's going to run through Kyrie. It's like
then
it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like that in Cleveland.
Yeah,
it would feel like that.
I understand that point.
The Spurs.
Yeah. Right.
The Spurs, he would be more of a unit. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? He would come in and it would be like the Spurs.
Yeah.
In Cleveland, it's like LeBron and his Merry Bandits. It's not like...
I just think that, there's a reason why...
If he wants to be the face of a franchise, you don't go to the Spurs. If his thing is I want to be the face...
If he wants to be
that's what we're trying to say.
But I'm saying if he wants to be the alpha...
That's right. And that's what... I don't know.
Kawhi will never be the leader, or Kyrie will never be the leader on Cleveland.
Right.
He could be the leader in the Spurs locker room without being the face.
He wasn't the leader before LeBron got there.
Yeah, he was. He was the
best player. He was the face of the franchise, but he was never. You never.
He was also 3 years in the league, 2 years in the league before LeBron got there.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is when we talk about certain players just going into a team and taking over it.
Like Derrick Rose was the leader of the Bulls.
Yeah, and the face of the Bulls.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That was day one. Day one.
I think Kyrie was both the face and the leader of the Cavs. Who else was the leader?
I think
Verjao?
They had. What was I say? I think they had older guys on that team
I think that team lacked leadership.
Yeah. I don't think he was the leader.
I think that's why they...
Kyrie was young then, though.
Yeah, I understand that. But my point is, you send him to a team where they already have an established guy that's there. He is their guy. You have a coach that doesn't give a fuck about your personality. Right. You don't run my team. I run my team.
Right.
So going to the Spurs would not get you any closer to being the guy.
Right.
Miami would.
Miami would.
Yeah, but there's a reason he has the Spurs on his list.
Because they're going to win.
So it's not all about being the guy.
No,
so you're thank you so much. That was my next point. You're bringing it up. I think this whole I want to be the top dog type shit.
No, I think he doesn't want to play with LeBron anymore.
I think no, you're good. I think that the whole the whole thing about I want to be the top dog is a fucking cover up because two things. If you don't want to play second fiddle to LeBron anymore, right? If that sentence is true, that would mean LeBron staying in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right? So, and a lot of people are saying, LeBron's going to leave. He won't waive his no trade clause because he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to have to sign an extension somewhere, yada, yada. So, if LeBron's leaving, fucking stay in Cleveland and it's your team again, right? You're the one that hit the big shot to win the championship. You know what I mean? He could ride the fact that he took over the end of that game as the clutch performer and be the face, right? Like he could become the face of the Cavs pretty comfortably too. And like he was hurt in the finals and it's like, what if? And you know what I mean? Whatever. So I think LeBron's leaving just like the rest of the world. And Kyrie doesn't want to say, hey, this team's going to blow.
Yeah, he wants to get out of there before it turns into a dumpster fire.
So, and as opposed to saying, like, hey, I think this team's going to suck, I want out now, because we've seen how much we crucify fucking athletes for wanting to leave before their team sucks or try to chase a championship. I think it's his way of saving face by saying, I just want to be the guy, and as a competitor and as an athlete, you can respect that, because it's like, he wants to take over a team, and we can all, like, bravo, Kyrie.
Cool, go be the guy in Sacramento.
Right. Yeah.
How about now? Now you want to be the guy?
Well, the Knicks, the Heat, that's close. Like, the Knicks and Kings are really close.
The Heat have the Coach of the Year finalist.
Fuck off. Everyone fuck off.
Once again, man, I'm not...
The Heat have more pieces than Sacramento. They have the
I don't think right now
they
have Hassan Whiteside. I think he would have to be part of the trade.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Because if you're trading Kyrie, that means the Cavs got to get something.
Then the Cavs would get him. What the fuck?
Right. So,
well, no, they would. The Heat would do everything in their power not to trade Hassan Whiteside.
It'd be like Justin Winslow and
Justice
Goran Dragic
Winslow and picks, lots of picks.
Right.
Probably.
They'd be like, here, you can take Dragic. You need a backup point guard. Here you go. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Dragic is a good backup point guard too.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You guys need a backup. Power forward. We got one. He's tall. He's white. We'll send him to Cleveland.
Who, Birdman?
No.
Who?
Our boy. He got signed.
Kelly Olynyk.
He's with the Heat?
He is with the Heat. He's with the Heat, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is with the Heat.
Right.
I just instantly put him on the Mavericks.
Yeah. Yeah, like the whole Dirk. Yeah, right. The Dirk replacement. He's opted back in? Or stayed another year?
Yeah.
Dirk?
He's playing
20 years now?
Him and, what's his name? Vince Carter.
That
Vince
team's
Carter,
a dumpster fire.
Did Vince Carter sign with the Warriors or the Mavericks?
I don't think he signed with either of them, did he?
No, I thought he signed with, Sacramento or something.
Oh, he did. He did really random. That's right. Yeah. I think it is Sacramento. I think it is Sacramento. I actually like that Kings team a lot in, 4 years.
Yeah.
I like them a lot way down the road. But also, Jared Sullinger's out there.
Yeah.
Don't bring him back.
Need a rebounder? He looks good. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, until he comes to Boston and
he starts
shoving Burger King in his face.
I would take him on a vet minimum
deal.
I
would too. I actually like Jaron Sullinger when he was here.
Aaron. All right, I'll turn yours down.
Just no, thank you.
Former domestic abuse case.
All right, on the list.
On the list. All right.
No, I just think he's.
We need an Aaron's list.
I think he's a whiner. I think he whined himself out of town.
How did he whine?
He used to bitch all the time.
He was like Glenn Baby Davis stat. He was almost there.
You think so?
He did. He was loud.
What did I miss?
He definitely talked shit. He was talking shit his way out of town. Yeah, he really did.
On his way out, or as a Celtic, he was
as a
trashing the
Celtic
Celtics?
at the end when he was he knew, hey, maybe my time.
I just missed.
I'm
the
just
story.
talking about him being fat.
Yeah, right. He is fat, but he's not anymore. I mean, he's still big, but he looks good. Isaiah Thomas is trying to recruit him.
I'll take him. I think he does a lot of things well.
Right, he does, and a lot of things that the Celtics need.
He can rebound. He can pop a three every once in a while.
A couple years ago,
I'll take the cheap shot artist over fucking.
You take Draymond Green over. Of
no,
course. Yeah.
The fucking guy they just traded for. They traded fucking Avery Bradley for Morris.
Oh, Morris.
I'll take him over that fucking
I would
bag
take
of
Draymond
dicks.
Green over.
Okay, I was going to say, I was like, yeah, no brainer. I'd take Draymond. Yeah. I thought you meant cheap shot with the nut kicking.
No.
That's a whole nother bag.
No,
He's also on the list.
That's true.
I just think him as a person sucks. It's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Well, that's who's on the list, though.
Right. That's a t-shirt idea right there. The Aaron's list.
You just made the list.
Yeah, you just made the list.
That's what it says in the back.
This may or may not lead to a Dave Speaks. This situation. Yeah, I don't know enough about it right now to really go in depth. But the David Price, David Eckersley deal.
Yeah,
Dennis
what?
Eckersley deal.
What
Dennis
is that?
Eckersley deal.
Eckersley.
I sat in a box with Dennis Eckersley before.
How'd that go?
I was like,
Did you berate him?
I was like 9, therefore didn't really know Dennis Eckersley.
Did you
was.
try to get him on the podcast?
I somewhere in my parents' house there's a baseball that has Dennis Eckersley's signature on it, though.
There you go.
My dad was real excited to meet him.
But did you try to get him on the podcast?
I was 9, Dave.
So that's a no.
I was about
So that's a no. Okay.
17 years away from being on this podcast.
I don't respect the effort.
Go fuck yourself, Joe.
All right.
Go fuck yourself, 9-year-old Joe.
Now we know who's trying.
No,
so.
you take the ball, you post a photo of it, and be like,
Right.
"Hey, man, I met you when I was 9.
I don't
Could
even
you come
think
on my
the
podcast?"
phones had cameras on them.
Now,
Yeah, do it now.
You go to your
Hey,
parents'
man.
house. Hey, man, like,
Right.
you know, we'd love to talk to you about the whole price situation.
Yeah,
and,
look
like,
what
our
it- oh, yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Dennis Eckersley's
Oh,
like, yeah.
you were that 9-year-old kid I sat
Right,
in a
right.
box with 17 years ago.
Yes.
You made my dad's day.
You made
and
my day.
You made my day. And
I
it
didn't
would
know
just
who
be,
you
It'd be
were.
so
There you
great.
go.
I was really happy that there was an M&M dish in the box we were in that the people would just keep refilling, so it was like constant stream of M&Ms.
So that meant a lot to me.
No, all
I was way more excited about the M&M dish than you, Dennis Eckersley. Will you come on our podcast?
Yeah.
Here-
That's a tough sell.
The takeaway from it is you have a guy that can't perform in the postseason.
Right.
Just a straight up whiner, overpaid, and he made fun of a guy that was a starter, had like arm issues,
Right.
switched over to the bullpen,
Right.
played 24 years I think in the majors,
Is that much?
and he's a Hall of Famer.
One of the greatest closers ever.
And you're not going to be a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Where do you get?
Where do you get off?
Like, I get it. You have a car that's probably worth more than his house,
Fucking-
but that's not. That
Oh, the
doesn't give you
tank?
the
The David
the
Price
tank
tank,
that he
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
drives, but it doesn't give you the right to fucking berate a fucking Hall of Famer because you suck.
I just think he's a piece of shit.
He's soft. The team is soft. They suck. This is a shitty.
No.
This is a shitty
Here's-
team.
I don't like them. I don't like this Boston team.
I'm starting to come towards the dark side and following Dave. They need to get rid of Pedroia.
Take that for data.
I think they need to get rid of Pedroia.
Yep.
I don't think he's a dirt dog, but I don't think his personality is aggressive
I
enough
don't
to
think
make
it has
these guys
I don't
hard.
think it has to do with Pedroia. I think you have
He's
to
the
go,
captain
I
of
think
the
you have to
team.
go higher.
I think he's the captain.
I go
of the
home.
team.
I think you have
Can I
to
go home?
I think you have to go higher.
I think their manager
There
sucks.
you go.
And I
There
think
you
Pedroia
go.
doesn't have the personality to run that.
There you go. Get rid of that fucker at manager. Yeah. Fire Farrell.
I'm telling you.
Fire.
Dustin Pedroia, it has been a part of the problem since there's been one.
No, I don't think he's been
He
a part of
is-
the problem. I think he's not the resolution to the problem.
Which is why
he's
you get rid
contributed.
of Farrell.
Right.
Because
Farrell-
Farrell is the
But
problem.
he did it with Francona. He did it with Francona. I'm not
This,
going to turn.
this would not be happening
I'm
right
not gonna
now
turn
if
this
Francona was
2000
manager.
Ow! How can you say that?
It
With the
wouldn't
chicken
be.
and beer?
He let chicken and beer happen.
Yeah, but
I
if
love
you
Fra- I
gave
love
Francona
Francona.
another shot now, post chicken, because Francona was going through shit when chicken
Right,
and beer
yeah, okay.
happened.
I understand.
If you give
Yeah, second
Francona
run,
another run, because Francona had the team,
He
and then
has
lost
another
it,
run in Cleveland. He's never going to leave Cleveland.
where this shit isn't happening. I'm saying you need a new manager.
I know what you're saying. If you brought him back after that experience,
I'm not even saying it has to be
He would-
Francona. I'm saying you need a Francona-like person to come
I was going
get
to say
these
because he'd
people.
never.
No,
come
you're
back.
not getting Francona.
Henry, he would never.
He burned that bridge.
Yeah, he would never. The way
You're never
the
getting
way they
Francona
badmouthed him all
back.
the time.
I agree with that, but
Right.
I'm saying you need a new. John Farrell is soft. He can't even take Rich Keefe coming at him on WEI.
Call him Ryan.
Yeah, It's stupid.
By
He's
the way-
soft. David Price is soft, and you can't have two soft people
Right.
keeping each other in check.
I love that he called Rich Keefe Ryan. He hasn't addressed him by his name all year, right? He's read a promo where he was like, I'm John Farrell, and I do Wednesday interviews with Dale Holly and Rich Keefe. And so he said his name. He knows it. I mean, he's read the promo. Never says his name on the show. Andy Hart from the Patriots magazine, newspaper, was on one time, and he's like, oh, good question, Andy. Called him Andy, knew his name. And then yesterday calls Rich Keefe, well, Ryan, totally on purpose. It's got to be on purpose.
Yeah.
So I tweeted, I think that John Farrell is a big Dork podcast fan, right? And I think he had a 50-50 shot of accidentally mixing up Rich Keefe and Ryan Davey and just got him confused. And Ryan Davey at Arbon D, he retweeted it and was like, your lips to God's ears, my friend. That's pretty good. So, yeah, Farrell sucks. I agree with that. And I don't want to turn the 2017 Red Sox into, ha-ha, Dustin Pedroia.
No,
but
I think Pedroia...
if he was the leader that people have anointed him as for a long time, there would be much more control. And supposedly, he was one of those given a standing ovation to Dave Price. And then you hear the thing where they were in the locker room, and they're talking about David Price on the TV, and Pedroia goes, hey, man, look, they're talking about you. And Price goes, oh, cool. And then it's like, Pedroia, what are you doing? Like, both Price and you suck. You know what I mean? Like, oh, cool.
No,
awesome,
that's
whatever.
my point. I think
like,
they're...
What is he up to?
I think they're all feeding into each other at this point.
There's like mini mutiny.
I think Pedroia isn't the right guy for this situation because he's a team guy first.
Mm-hmm.
Which not a overall team morale guy, but
Can I go home?
He's a player guy first.
Yeah.
He's not going to tell another player they're wrong.
See, that's where I don't like that, though.
I agree. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
And you should... And
He's going to take the player's side.
Right.
Yeah, but
It was.
I think you should be able to take constructive criticism from your teammates and your coach. If you can't, why are you fucking playing? Because they're the ones that are going to help you get better.
Right.
Yeah, but
they want you to be better.
That's the problem with this Red Sox team, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think you get rid of him and you get rid of the coach, the manager, and get a guy that actually has a set of balls to fucking say, shut the hell up, shut your mouth, David, you're overpaid.
I want the dude from Detroit, the old guy.
Oh, yeah. Jim Leland?
Yeah, bring him back.
Yeah. He was tough as nails.
Yeah.
That guy was a motherfucker.
That's a perfect guy for this Red Sox team.
Yeah, somebody that will tell everybody to shut up in the locker room.
That's a dirt dog as a manager. That's what you need.
Right. Yeah. I think that a lot of people say, oh, this Red Sox team doesn't have an identity. I think you're wrong. I think it does have an identity, and I think they're fucking gutless. Yeah, I think this whole team sucks. This team is not good.
I don't like them.
No, I think the problem is
there's whatever, but they're they're hateable.
You have the best pitcher in baseball.
No, he needs to step up. Sale.
Well, see, that's the
with
thing.
David Price.
No,
like, that's one of his guys.
Yeah, no, he needs to look Price in the eye and be like, "You're being soft," because Sale is not soft.
No,
but I think also Sale.
He doesn't want to. He's here for his first year. He doesn't want to start shit up.
Also, Sale's not the fucking leader of the team.
Yeah, but he should be. He needs to take
no,
the
my
role.
point is, I don't think he's that guy. I think he's the guy when the team's completely shit and nobody's fucking on that team to like say to him, "Hey, man, just keep your head down. We're going to fucking be fine. We're going to get through this."
Right.
He doesn't have that strong-willed guy in the locker room with him. Mm-hmm. He cuts up his fucking uniform and bitches and complains. Right. And he gets mad because the one guy on their team that was the leader in that locker room
that's not how I looked at
left the team because they wouldn't let his son in the locker room.
That's not how I looked at him cutting up his uniform as, though. I didn't look at it as him bitching and complaining. I looked at it as him, I want to win, and you guys are directly affecting what I think is my ability to
perception's
win.
reality.
Bitching and complaining about the team.
Right. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying. Like, both of you guys have your perception as it, because I get both sides. Like, you could easily view that as, are you fucking kidding me, you crybaby? If let's say,
I don't think he's genuinely a crybaby.
If David Price did it right now, we would be like, oh, get the fuck out of here. If Adelius Thomas did it on the Patriots, you know what I mean? Like, we would be like, oh, what a fucking turd. You know what I mean? Like, this guy sucks. I get what you're saying. Chris Sale's a likable guy.
Yeah.
Like the general perception, like, thinks he's a likable guy. And he's fucking good, really good. So guys like that, winning cures everything. I say that all the time. So when you're really good and your team sucks, and you see like some people view it as, oh, he's passionate, he's fiery, he's a little crazy.
That's how I see it.
And then some people see it as like, he's outrageous, he's out of control, he's an idiot. You know what I mean? He's a crybaby.
I think
whatever.
he's passionate and fiery, and I think he needs to take control as a leader.
I don't think he is that guy.
I just think that just because you're passionate doesn't make you a good leader either.
I think like Aaron though, he doesn't want it. He doesn't
Yeah.
want to
Oh
do
no,
it.
I agree
that's what I'm
with
saying.
you.
I don't think he wants to be the leader. I don't think he has that in his
But
personality.
I think he should because they'll listen to him.
I think right now, if there was
you
any
get-
guy on the team that could
Maybe.
rally the troops, it would be Chris Sale.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like if you didn't get a guy like, and I'm not saying you obviously he's not coming back, but David Ortiz was the leader of that locker room,
Right.
especially after all those guys left.
Mm-hmm.
After the chicken and beer, he was the leader,
Right.
and I think you don't have that guy. I think if a guy like that was in the locker room, yeah, okay, Pedroia would straighten his fucking ass up.
Well,
I
it's
think
the same team. Would put David Ortiz on the team last year. You didn't hear about any of this dumbass shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the same team. You
Right.
just added Chris Sale, and I don't think Chris Sale's
Chris
the
Sale's not
problem.
the problem.
No, that's what I'm
Right,
saying. I'm not
right.
saying that. I'm saying that the fact that you have nobody in the locker room to
Right.
cuff somebody
Yeah.
Right.
and tell him to shut the hell up, like a David Price that
Right.
doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, who's going to punch David Price in the gut?
Me, I'll do it. Pay
No
me,
one.
I'll come
The
in and
rest of
do
the
it.
team
And
is-
that's the problem.
The rest of there's two guys, Pedroia and Sale. Other than those two
Right.
to step up and do it,
I think
the rest of the team's too young. David Price is the senior to almost everyone.
What I was going to say, most of those guys
point.
are young,
Right.
and the young guys that are on the team, most of them, the only guy that I could see somewhere down the road is Mookie Betts.
Right.
But right now, he doesn't. He's the guy. He's the young kid that like everybody's
Right.
paying attention to.
Right.
But the other guys on that team, like Bogarts and stuff, Bogarts, you ever watch his like body language? He's another one. He's not going to take over a room. He doesn't have the composure for it.
Right.
He-
The coolest guy on the team is Jackie Bradley Jr. right now.
But he's
So
another
guy-
one
But
that
all three, four of those guys, Benintendi, they're all like kind of like
They're young. They're not.
but I
they're
think
young,
they're-
and they're also like their personalities are like
they're
kinda
very
like
smiley
shelled,
and
you know what I
meek.
mean?
They're very meek when it comes to like walking in the room and just fucking going, guys, shut the hell up.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I think
don't
they just,
fucking clap for that shit.
Well, they
I could
probably
see the
look
Killer
at
Bees
David-
sitting there and just being like, "Wow, that's crazy."
They
you know what I
probably-
mean? Like, wow, look at what he's doing. That's
They
weird.
probably look at David Price as a leader.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Because
you
he's
knock
their
him
senior.
off.
Right. Supposedly, he berates fucking David or Dennis Eckersley. I keep saying David. And they got people clapping.
Yeah.
Like like David Price has support from the team,
I don't
which is
understand.
nuts. Like from the
What-
coach,
I don't know
from the
the full story.
athletes. I don't really know the
What
full
did
story.
Did Dennis Eckersley do something?
Supposedly, Dennis Eckersley did his job, and he was critical of another player. I'm not sure. I'm sure he's even made comments about Price, but supposedly Price's angle was that it wasn't about what he said about him. He was standing up for his teammate, right? So he went to go address him. Eckersley saying something bad about a teammate. I don't know what comment it was. I know they keep playing on WEI the thing where he was like, "Ugh," or whatever after like a real bad play or strikeout or whatever. You know, I mean, there's something that happened. And he kind of was like, "Ugh," like not professional analysis, just like, ugh, I don't know. And they took it personally because this team's soft.
That's what he gets paid to do.
Yeah, right.
They're going to do this anytime someone writes a critical article about them.
And well,
then?
remember, he did it with Evan Drellick too. He shut Evan Drellick out, and they got in the whole thing about he's like, "I'm done talking to media." Just yesterday, in the Boston Red Sox locker room, they do a thing where the starting pitcher gets to pick the music for the locker room for the day,
Yeah.
and no one gets to touch it,
Yeah.
right? Like so they can hype themselves up, whatever. David Price listened to it at a volume so loud that the media couldn't interview anyone at their locker. So
That's kind of fun.
It's this like godforsaken techno, right? And there's like Rob Bradford trying to talk to Chris Sale, and it's just like bah da 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 do 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 whatever, like in the background, and you can kind of hear like, "Hey, so what do you think about the fastball?" You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and you can barely hear him talking over him. Totally drowned out the media. It's on purpose. Like, it's so on purpose. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're total dink. The media guys were like, it's never been that loud in there. Like, that's not common to have the music be that loud. Like, there's a real media versus Red Sox problem with their own partners, like with Neston and with WEI. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and who's leading that charge?
David Price.
He needs to go.
Right.
They should get rid of him.
Evan Drellick on WEI, also on the other stations. And then Dennis Eckersley, fucking Nesson.
Yeah, they need to get rid of him.
What
He's
are you
bad
doing?
for business.
He really is. It's really bad.
It's not, and it's one thing if he was pitching good, but he's not. He's not even pitching that well.
He's pitching good.
But he's not
in a
David
good streak.
Price.
No, right. He's not like Tampa Bay Price.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. He's been good. But yeah, you're right. It's not good enough. All right, so we're gonna get into social media second here.
All right.
We could have broke it up a little bit, so I'll explain that here in a second. So the social media second this week was Michael Holley and your conversation about the best seeded Patriots. If you could take the top four, it had to be a championship winning Patriots team.
Yeah.
So I took his top, like the way he seeded it and explained it. The two winners of the first round were the 2004 Patriots and the 2016 Patriots, which makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So next week we'll do the final vote. We'll keep it up all week and find out. Now that's a tough vote.
Both were 14-2.
Both were 14-2. Yeah, that's tough.
How are the rankings? Do you know that?
You mean like defensive and offensive?
Yeah, because
the Patriots had the fewest points scored,
and they were like number 3 in total offense.
Right.
Like everyone was like, "Oh, Atlanta's offense is the best offense."
No Tom Brady for 4 games.
No Gronk.
He went no Gronk for 11.
And they were the number 3 offense.
Right.
Tom Brady for no Tom Brady for 4 and no Gronk for 11.
Right.
So that means Tom Brady and Gronk were on the field together for
like 2 games.
Yeah,
I think just about. And
because Gronk played in only 5 games.
I think so, and it was like weeks 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Because remember he came against that Houston game.
Yeah.
He didn't have a catch or he didn't not a target, but he just blocked in that Houston Thursday night game. And then the 4th game, he had a couple catches. They lost. Garoppolo got hurt. Brissett played. I'm sorry, not that week.
He was never
the
Gronk either.
Buffalo game, right?
He was never like back.
Right, all the way back. Right, that's tough. Tom Brady was 14-1 last year.
They think
36-4.
They won. They went 14-2. They were the number 3 offense.
Yep.
And they were without their star quarterback for 4 games, and they pretty much never had their biggest weapon on offense.
Right. What was Tom Brady? 28-2.
28 in the regular season. 28-2.
Right. 28-2.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So that's our social media second. But the 04 and the 2016.
It might be 2016.
I think so too. And that's like 2 out of 3 years as opposed to back to back. You know what I mean? Like 04 was a back to back year. The start of the winning streak year. We had won 21 straight games.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that carried over into the next year, and they lost to halfway through.
That team was really good, though.
That's a tough one. We're going to leave that poll open all week and just see what happens there. But that's a tough one. 04 Patriots versus
2004, is
Patriots.
that Corey Dillon?
That was Corey Dillon.
It's Corey Dillon. Yeah. 04 is my favorite year.
Yeah. I think, for me, a little peek behind the curtain, last year was my favorite Patriots football season ever.
It's because you guessed the overtime.
That's not even why to me. I think the storyline, the narrative of the Patriots football season last year was insane.
Brady suspension, the comeback, and then the Super Bowl comeback was
the
crazy.
Brady suspension, the peak at Jimmy Garoppolo, the fact that they went 3-1 without Tom Brady,
Jacoby Brissett, it's just crazy.
Then coming back and Tom Brady putting up the highest grade ever for a quarterback on Pro Football Focus and just balling out of control at the age of 39.
Right.
Putting up an MVP caliber season. Like, what did the 4-game suspension do for his MVP chances? And he still almost won it.
Right.
And then, how good is this defense?
Right.
Is it actually a good defense? Or are they just playing soft competition? There's so many storylines, Patriots.
And also, I want to clean up, as you noted, they did not play the Chiefs in the AFC Championship last year.
They played the Texans.
They played the Texans and the Steelers. Yep.
The Steelers lost to the Chiefs.
Steelers lost to the Chiefs. And I think the play we're talking about...
Chiefs lost to the Steelers.
Jesus Christ. So I think the play that we're thinking about was from the 2014 one when they played Kansas City in the AFC Championship, and he dove into the end zone.
He got hit and
He
kind
got
of
hit
fell on his
in the
back.
corner, into the corner of the end zone there. Yeah. So that was actually a couple years ago. So just know that we know that we got that wrong.
2004, Corey Dillon.
Yep.
You also had your offensive, defensive coordinators were leaving. Mm-hmm. They were part of the 3 Super Bowls.
Right.
Probably one of their best defenses of all time.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the last year I want to say McGinnis was on the team.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yep.
A couple years later, you traded away Seymour.
Yep.
Like, I think that was the best built, and that was with Law. Wasn't
Law
you?
and Samuel. Yeah, Law
But
and
no,
Samuel played 1 and 2.
I thought Law was hurt that year.
He may have been.
He was hurt. I thought they had like, I don't want to say Ellis. I don't think it was Ellis Hobbs or anything like that. But somebody else was like their starting corner. He came and he did play in the Super Bowl, I think. But he wasn't the star. That was when
Asante
Samuel kind of
yeah.
Surpassed him on the roster.
Yeah, because that was the like 1-2. You know what I mean, like Law and
Yeah.
Samuel, and then I can't remember if Law got hurt or not, but that was 13 years ago, or whatever. But you could be right about that. It's tough because last year's football team was just.
I think it's.
I think the culmination of the whole season to me, I like more. But you're right, like the roster in 04 was really. Tough.
I just think I have a better connection with that roster because time has built it for you.
Yeah.
Teddy Bruschi, like there's just so many guys from that team, and it was also I think the last year of Teddy Johnson too, right?
Probably true, yeah.
Because he left like right after that.
I also like last year, like the Chris Long, Martellus Bennett never getting a ring until now. You know, what I mean, those guys that came on trying to let's fucking do this. You know what I mean? They did it.
Tyler only played 7 games.
In 04?
Yeah.
There you go.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's for me. That's the stories that I remember. I remember everything that obviously happened this year, and I was at every game watching it with you.
Yeah, right.
Well, not at every game, but watching every game.
Right.
And yeah, like the narrative, obviously, like let's get back in the league, and I get that, and fuck Goodell, but wear that clown paint. But I think for me, it's just that storyline. For me, is just better. Like watching them on the sidelines, like not Goodell having to like deal with booze. No, like I want to.
Weiss, Cornell, Belichick hug like that.
Yeah,
was
like
awesome.
I want to see the. I wanted to see I love the Belichick. Weiss,
Cornell hug.
and
Yeah,
Cornell
that's
hug.
it. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
No, it's fine. Yeah, that moment is
That's big to me.
so cool. Yeah, I get
Like
you.
I don't see him ever doing that with
McDaniels
and
Patricia,
the fucking Unabomber.
I think the other one meant a lot because it was like their first.
Is that Troy Brown's year playing corner?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Like
Yep.
there's so many things he played corner.
Yeah, because that
in
was
the Super Bowl.
Asante Samuel, and you had Randall Gay,
Yeah, there.
Earth, Wind, Moreland, and
That's a deep cut.
yeah, Tyrone Poole,
Yeah, Tyrone Poole.
and then Troy Brown played corner too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm
That's
just
a
saying,
tough
like,
one.
That's and Troy Brown's like
I don't think you.
he's
can go wrong.
2A for me
When
when
you
it
look
comes
up-
to like my favorite Patriots.
Yeah.
When you look up Patriots starters, by the way,
Yeah.
for 2004, it gives you 2 defensive ends, 4 linebackers, strong safety, free safety. Never lists the starting corners.
Wow.
And then I had to look through the roster and see who the
Jesus.
corners were. Because it gives you Richard Seymour, Ty Warren,
Yeah.
Bruschi, Johnson, McGinnis, Vrabel, Harrison, and Eugene Wilson, and Big Vince was on that team
I
too.
was gonna say, wasn't he a
His rookie
rookie
year,
that
yeah.
year?
That was
Yeah. Because he started and finished with a championship with 2014 and 4. Yeah. And with the Patriots.
And Tractor
started.
Trailer was on that team.
Yeah. Shit. That's a tough one. I'm
just more
That offensive line, by the way, was the
beast.
best.
Yes, so good. That's true.
Matt Light, Joe Andrewsy, Dan Copen, Steve Neal, Brandon Gorin.
Yeah.
You had a fucking rugby player playing your right guard,
Right.
And he was wasn't he a fucking Pro Bowler at one point?
Tight
Yeah,
end,
I think so,
Tight end
yeah.
on that team.
On that team,
Graham and Watson.
Daniel Graham and Ben Watson. Ben Watson was a
And-
rookie that year. And
This is relevant to who
Christian Fourier.
Yeah, there you go.
I knew that. I used to love Christian Fourier as a player. My dad, you know why I liked Christian Fourier as a player? Because my dad was always like, man, that guy catches everything. And like he said it to me like twice, and I was like, yeah, he's
right.
He's right. He
Also,
really does.
Ben Watson played one game that year.
Yeah, I think he was drafted that year, right?
Yeah, he didn't play really.
He didn't play, yeah.
So yeah, because it lists the starting tight ends as Christian Fourier and Daniel Graham.
Yeah, that makes
not
sense.
Ben Watson.
And then also Mike Vrabel.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Don't forget
That's
about
another
the Mike
thing,
Vrabel tight
man.
end.
Think
yeah,
about that.
I still think I might vote 2016.
I think I am too, but
Almost
that's a
because
fucking
that
tough one.
defense, the 2004 Patriots were coming off 2003, so everyone knew they were a good defense. Everyone knew they were a good team.
Mm-hmm.
The defense and how good the Patriots defense was last year
Mm-hmm.
was like, where the fuck did that come from?
And like they traded away Jamie Collins.
They traded
You know,
away
like it was
Jamie
supposed
Collins.
to be their best player on
You have
defense,
no
like
Darrell.
athletic wise.
You have no Darrell Revis.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was like, because remember the year prior, it was like, you're going to go with Malcolm Butler and Malcolm Butler
Yeah.
as your one? Like, that's it? Because they were like, he made a nice play. What are you thinking? And then the emergence of Malcolm Butler last year led into this year, becoming a legit one. But, yeah, I mean, that was just different. That whole thing. And then, like, the Patrick Chung comeback, over the past 2 years kind of developed into he's much better the second time around than he was his first time, So that's tough. That's going to be a good one. I
Yeah,
think that's
and
going to be
even-
one of my favorite social media segments because it's going to be a tough vote.
You go into the season and you have Malcolm Butler. He had a good season the year before, but you still lost to the Denver team.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, all right, so who are they going to add at corner? They're definitely
Right.
going to draft someone, this and that.
Right.
And then they drafted Cyrus Jones. He was awful.
Holy cow. Yeah.
They brought in Eric Rowe, who actually turned out to be decent, but everyone was going in like they didn't even
This is
improve
it?
corner.
Yeah, right,
like they're
right.
just going to we're going to see Patriots of old, like
Right.
2010.
Yeah. They're going to give up a ton of yards. You know what I mean? That's going to be it. So we'll see what happens there. Let's get into our not mad at it.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So for I'm not mad at it, Aaron, you can go first.
I'm not mad at Andrew Hawkins retiring at 31 years old. He just basically said, he's like, listen, my body's not bouncing back the way it should after OTAs and getting ready for training camp, and it's just not working the way it should, and my body's not cooperating, and I'm not going to force it to do more than what it should.
Yeah.
And I commend him on that. There's a lot of players that would. I mean, Wes Welker, how many head fucking hits do you have to take before people finally, your wife has to like grab you by the balls and drag you off the field?
Right.
Like, I just think that he looked at his kids and enough was enough. I mean, the only complaint I have with it is he put out a statement on LeBron's media thing that he co-owns with some whatever guy.
Oh, what is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint. Why are you doing any business with LeBron James?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I heard a story the other day that LeBron James.
Granted, he played for Cleveland last year.
That pizza place, Blaze Pizza, that he bought,
Yeah.
he contributed like $200,000 in it, and now his stock shares are worth like $25 million.
That's for LeBron?
Yeah,
Wow.
he owns bought into some pizza place.
That's cool.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck LeBron.
Yeah.
I just think also like Andrew Hawkins, like not having to like be like a lot of these receivers. You make it through training. You get to training camp. Get halfway through training camp, you get cut. You're 31 years old. You're really tiny,
Right. Yeah.
and your body's not. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to take steroids. You're not going to take HGH. Like you're just like, listen, my body is telling me right now enough is enough.
Right.
I understand all of it. I just have one question. Why not win a ring, though?
Because there's no guarantee he was going to make that team.
Yeah, that he was on.
I think
that
that's
fucking
what
end.
it was.
He
Right.
could have won a ring, though.
Yeah. Yeah, if he made the team.
Yeah, but at least try and make the team.
Yeah.
If you
And
get
then-
cut, you get cut.
and then you announce your retirement.
you get your money.
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. But yeah, no, you're right though. I mean, like, I guess if he's done, he's done. I get that. Like, if you can win a ring though.
Why not win a ring, though?
Yeah.
After all that time, after that time in Cleveland,
Yeah, Cincinnati and Cleveland, he spent most of his career, so that's tough.
you're not even sniffing rings over there. Why
Yeah.
not just come win a ring, though?
What do you got for not mad at it?
I'm not mad at. All right, so this story stems from Dirk Cutter the coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers saying that he wants to have a badass football team. That was his quote. So a writer for the local Tampa Bay newspaper decided to poll NFL writers across the globe, 49 other NFL writers, and ask, who is the most badass football team?
Mm-hmm.
And your New England Patriots were voted the most badass football team.
I'll dig it.
And they also did players, and both Tom Brady and Gronk finished in the top 10.
Nice.
So
That's cool.
we're officially not only the best team,
The most badass team.
we're the most badass.
I like it.
So the other teams were Seattle
Yep.
and the Raiders
Raiders
and-
make sense at 3.
and another team that I don't
Name
remember.
escapes me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How? That's the real question. How?
How what?
That they're the toughest team.
Then not toughest, most
The
badass.
most bad. How?
Uh,
Your quarterback
'cause-
wears Uggs.
Because winning is pretty badass. That's what I think it is.
They do what they want
Your
all
quarterback,
the time.
your quarterback might wear Uggs, but he fucks a supermodel and drives sports cars and is playing into his 40s. And your coach wears sweatshirts without sleeves,
It's true.
Hooded
We're like the bad
sweatshirts
guys of the league.
without sleeves.
I mean, that's what I would say. They're the most hated team in the league.
Right.
That makes
That
them
makes
badass.
more sense. No.
Yeah. That's when it's like
You were down 28-3.
No,
with like a quarter of
They would be
football.
the most badass team if they still had Aaron Hernandez on it.
I think that might be. Oh, the Steelers were the other team. The Steelers were actually
Okay,
great.
that makes more sense.
The Steelers, because technically, if you were going to use that as your case for most badass, Dallas Cowboys would be right at number one
How?
because they employ like mass criminals.
nonstop. Greg
Well,
Hardy
I
got
know.
a job there. Like,
No, I understand
Ezekiel
that.
Elliott still on the team.
But you also have an alleged rapist that just pays people off and pays off cops
Yeah, but
as
it's-
your quarterback, the face of your franchise.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott's the face of your franchise. He
No,
goes
the
down.
face of your franchise.
is Ezekiel Elliott.
No, it isn't.
It's definitely not Dak.
It
Des.
is.
It's
It's
no.
Des Bryant.
Well,
I think right now it's
Zeke.
I think it is Zeke. He's the best player on that team.
He just won Rookie of the Year.
Right.
He was the NFL rushing leader.
Okay.
It's definitely not Dak Prescott.
I think
That's
the league views him as the leader of that team.
I don't. I think the whole league gives credit to Zeke.
No, the whole league doesn't give credit to Zeke. Everyone knows that offensive line is automatic.
Yeah, and Zeke. So Dak's job
but,
is
like,
easy
Does
because
make
all
Dak's
he has
job
to do is hand the ball off.
Yeah. That's a good one. I don't
Dak's
know.
role is secondary to Zeke's role. I think any running back could go into that backfield and run good, but I think Dak's role is secondary to the running back role on the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a good one. That's a good question.
You don't think Tony Romo could have done what Dak did last year?
No.
No,
I
I
do.
don't. I don't.
I do.
Turns the ball over too
You
much.
don't think he could make the playoffs and lose in the first round?
Dak Prescott broke like the all-time.
I'm not. That's not what
fucking
I'm talking about.
interception
I'm
thing,
saying
though.
you don't think Tony Romo could make the playoffs and lose in the first round. What was the outcome? You don't think he could get the same outcome?
yeah, right. Yeah, sure. I guess,
I don't think.
but I mean, like,
I don't know. I just.
you
don't
could say
see
that
that.
for a lot of teams, though. Like, you could say anyone that ran into the Falcons. You don't think that would have happened with anyone? You know what I mean? Like, you could change Aaron Rodgers out
They didn't
and
run
say,
into
do you
the
think they
Falcons,
wouldn't
though.
win the
The
No, they ran
Packers?
to the Packers.
Yeah.
Right. I'm saying that you could do that with any team, considering that we know the result. Like, you could,
Well, I
if
don't
you
know. I
compare
don't
the
think
end result
I
all
don't
the
think
time.
you could put any quarterback on the Packers and they make the playoffs.
No, but they would also not get to the Super Bowl. Like, if you take the negative part of what happened with the Cowboys.
About me. I think any quarter you put Tony Romo back there, they're making the playoffs.
I think if you put...
No, I don't.
You don't think they make the playoffs
I
with
don't,
Tony Romo?
No, I don't think they
No,
do.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either.
I do.
I don't. Why? He's never been a good playoff. Like, he's made the playoffs like 4 times in 10 years.
Yeah, but it's he wouldn't have had
would
to do.
have-
he wouldn't have had to do anything.
His spleen would fucking splatter.
Yeah, but he
again.
could have done that
Dak
with DeMarco.
Prescott didn't throw a touchdown pass until week 6.
Yeah, but he also didn't throw a pick.
I understand that, but he didn't throw a touchdown. He wasn't asked to do a lot.
Right. No,
So
I'm
if
not.
He was also a rookie.
Tony Romo was
and
asked
he
to
was
do
like
a lot more when he was the quarterback of the team than Dak Prescott was ever asked to do.
Do you think Dak Prescott was better than Tony Romo last
I think
year? A
Dak
healthy Tony
Prescott
Romo.
did is a better game manager than Tony Romo.
Who would you rather have as your quarterback?
Right now, Dak Prescott.
Like a healthy Tony Romo. I mean, yeah, I don't mean
Even
like,
a healthy Tony
I don't
Romo.
mean
It's
I don't
probably
mean
the.
game
I'll
announcing Tony
take
Romo.
the upside of Dak Prescott.
If you were starting last year, Dallas Cowboys, do you go with Tony Romo or Dak Prescott? I mean, if you knew what, last year's roster,
if I knew,
but you already have
I
seen
would
Dak
have
for a year
played
in the
Tony
NFL.
Romo.
Really?
Yes.
If you've already seen Dak for a year.
Yeah, because I don't know what Tony Romo would have been with that team.
I think he
would still throw a million
interceptions.
interceptions.
I think the team is better.
I think he would have. I think he would have led the league in interceptions.
No, he was.
Yes.
No, go look at his numbers. He's never been
a big interception guy.
He's never been that big of an more
He's
than
never,
Eli
more than
Manning
20,
or any of those guys.
Yeah, right. But
yeah, he'll throw like 12 or 13. Or 14.
but he always throws the bad one.
It's the one in the game that matters.
Right,
I'm saying he would have made the playoffs. I don't think.
No, I think he would have thrown the interception to lose you the playoffs.
Dude,
I think
they
so
went
too.
14-2.
Yeah, I think he would have been I think they would have went 11-5
with a quarterback that didn't throw a touchdown until week 6.
I think he's your Achilles heel in general.
I'm saying if he goes in there and you give him the same role that Dak Prescott had, you don't ask him to be Tony Romo.
Yeah.
You ask him to be.
He's Tony Romo, so he's going to go in there and try to do that. He's going to try to force balls
Tony
in.
Romo does what you tell him to do. If you're,
he doesn't.
Yes, he does. What do you know about how they call plays in Dallas? You think Tony Romo's out there like, fuck Jason Garrett, all right, you do this and you do this?
Yes.
No, he's going to do what the coach tells him to do.
But how do you know that? To ask the same question, how do you know that he does? Because he's kind of a gunslinger. So if he did exactly what the Cowboys wanted him to do, then
once again, when they call a pass play,
right,
he's still going to try to squeeze it into a window. He can't.
He's a gunslinger. He's known as being Brett Favre.
One of the best receivers in
the
game.
You have a better passing offense last year with Tony Romo at quarterback than you do Dak Prescott. And yards,
I think you also turn the ball over a lot more.
And yards, yeah, but it doesn't matter. You'll probably score more points.
Maybe.
I guarantee you score more points with Tony Romo at quarterback.
I don't know.
Dez Bryant had a subpar year last year at Dak Prescott quarterback. He is a stud with Tony Romo back there.
Yeah. I mean, the AFC or the NFC championship game, or was it the first round?
The first round.
First
round, no. Not
second round. Divisional round.
I also thought some of the other receivers on that team got some love last year.
Yeah, Cole Beasley got a lot of love.
Right, he did get a lot of love.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that divisional round, I thought Dak Prescott showed me a lot of balls. Coming back on the Packers like that, tying it up, fourth quarter. Like I thought that was
gunslang. Didn't he throw a pick?
He threw a pick in that game, yeah.
Yeah, he played like Tony Romo.
Wait a minute. Throwing one pick? Let's talk about Tom Brady. Is Tom Brady as bad as Tony Romo? He threw 2 picks in the Super Bowl?
No, but sometimes you have to gunsling.
Right. Sometimes you have to, but you can't take one pick in a fucking playoff game because
that's
so Tom Brady.
Wait.
If you're saying that throwing If you're saying that throwing a pick in the playoff season means that you're a bad gunslinger, that means that Tony Romo or Tom Brady is the worst playoff quarterback. He has the most interceptions in playoff history.
I'm saying you're gunslinging.
No,
you take chances. He takes more. You take more chances.
You think that throwing a pick means that you're taking chances?
Yes. You don't think Tom Brady took chances in the Super Bowl?
You think that throw that got picked was taking a chance?
You don't think Tom Brady's pass to Edelman over the middle that got batted and Edelman caught, that wasn't a chance?
You had to. You were down. You had to. You were down in that game. You have to score points if you want to win.
That's when he threw the pick.
No. Well, yeah, but they were down 7. And that was just a bad throw. It wasn't like, I'm going to jam it. It was a guy cut the route. You can't do that. Tom Brady throws picks in the playoffs all the time.
I'm saying you can't punish Tony Romo for trying to throw the ball.
No, Tony Romo makes a lot of bad mistakes. A lot of bad mistakes.
He's also asked to do twice as much as Dak Prescott is.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying that if
you put Tony
Romo asked to do more than Aaron Rodgers.
No, Aaron Rodgers is the offense.
Right. Okay.
He's a better quarterback.
Right. Okay. So that's.
I don't think Dak Prescott is a better quarterback.
See, I think he is. I think he's a smarter quarterback. I think
you can say that off a season where he had like 100 less pass attempts than Tony Romo did.
Right. Yeah.
So obviously he threw less picks.
Right. No, I'm not saying just picks. I mean smarter passes. Like I think his completion percentage was high. His turnover ratio was low. He doesn't turn the ball. He doesn't fumble a lot.
There's this weird narrative with Tony Romo because he fumbled the snap on a kick, and he threw a pick because he's a gunslinger. That he's a bad quarterback. Tony Romo is not a bad quarterback. Go look at the stats.
Tony Romo got lucky that an owner loved him.
Go look at the stats.
I don't think that's fair.
Tony Romo was a really good quarterback.
He was an undrafted quarterback that got to start for the Dallas Cowboys. That's a fucking achievement in its own. It's a point that you have an owner that gave you that much of a chance.
I'm saying
no other organization would do that. No other organization would do that.
The Patriots gave a 6th-round pick.
They still fucking drafted him.
Yeah,
Nobody gave that motherfucker a chance.
Yeah, but Malcolm Butler was undrafted. The Patriots do undrafted players all the time.
I understand that.
Derek Blount, Malcolm Butler.
But am I saying that, like, we're comparing... I'm talking about quarterbacks.
Okay, all right. No,
I'm talking about quarterbacks. In the NFL, quarterbacks that are undrafted are really going to turn out to be something?
Kurt Warner.
Okay.
Right. No, and I'm just saying, like, just as an example. Like,
yeah, no, that's a legit one.
Right.
He also lost 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
He won
one. He made it to 3. I get it.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying, Tony, go look at the stats. Tony Romo was a good quarterback.
He's a great regular season when the game's not on the line. When he's a front runner, great quarterback. Yeah, fuck yeah, huck it in there. When the game's on the line,
if he doesn't drop if he doesn't drop the field goal, if he doesn't.
Why did he never go 14-2?
He didn't have this team.
All he didn't have was Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, that's a pretty big thing.
The year before, they went 12-3, or he went 12-3, and they also had the same offensive line. Ezekiel Elliott's a great running back. DeMarco Murray led the NFL in rushing yards.
Go ahead. He went 12-3 and got hurt.
Right.
Okay,
right?
So he can never stay healthy.
So
either.
how is that his fault?
When DeMarco Murray led the NFL in rushing yards, they went 8-7.
They lost one less game.
No, when DeMarco
you said
Murray,
he went 12-3.
No, I'm saying his last year started.
Yeah,
when he was the starter.
He went 12-3. They lost one less game.
Right.
With a running back who didn't lead the league in rushing yards.
Right, but that also means that he could have went 12-4. So he could have went 12. Like you're taking a game and then just saying, oh, they only lost one more.
He got hurt.
Right, and that's another thing about him. He's frail.
I understand that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you have him for the whole season, you can't say he's worse. He
went 13. This is his career: 6-4, 13-3, 8-5, 11-5, 1-5, 8-8, 8-8, 8-7, 12-3, 3-1. He's a career 78-49. That's not good. He's had basically the same receiving core. DeMarco Murray led the NFL in rushing yards the same way Zeke did. I think that Dak is a better player. I think Dak's a smarter quarterback. I should say. I'm not saying I think Tony Romo's a good quarterback. I agree with you. I don't think he's bad.
I don't think Dak Prescott's bad either. I'm saying I think Tony Romo gets a bad rap. I think
he probably does league wide. Yeah, that's probably
Tony
true.
Romo could have done what Dak did last year. If you take Dak out, and literally they play these exact same snaps, play call wise.
Right.
I think Tony Romo has he might have more interceptions, but he has just as good of a season as Dak.
But to the point that
he probably has more passing yards.
But to the point that Dak's a smarter quarterback with the ball.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a better quarterback. Like he doesn't have he doesn't pass like Tony Romo does. He's not asked to.
He's early Tom Brady. I think Dak Prescott is early Tom Brady.
Yes. There were better quarterbacks than Tom Brady when Tom Brady was there.
Right.
When young Tom Brady.
Okay.
He was just smart. And young Tom Brady threw 14 interceptions.
Right.
He used to throw a lot of picks.
Right. No, 14's not bad. He's never thrown more than 15 in his career.
No, but he would throw... That's not... Dak Prescott threw way less than 14.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah. He didn't only just break the rookie record. He broke like the fucking almost like the longest stretch without a pick record or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's my point.
But Tony Romo was never...
He's got this. He's got this.
Tony Romo was never asked to go 6 games without throwing a touchdown. Dak Prescott literally the first 6 games...
They could have done it with DeMarco Murray. They could have done that.
They didn't though. They asked Tony Romo to do more.
Right, but what I'm saying is that
they didn't trust Dak Prescott because he was a rookie, so they put the onus on Zeke.
Right. That's true. Excuse me.
But if Tony Romo was there, the play calling's probably different. They probably throw the ball more.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that there's an obvious difference between the two games.
I think Tony Romo could do what Dak did if you asked him to do the exact same thing.
I don't think so. That's my thing. I just don't think he could. But it's just an opinion. You know what I mean? Like we'll never know.
Do you have the stats up in front of you?
Yeah. I'm trying to see it's 1 year, so it's tough to do. He was 23-4 last year in 16 games. They were 13-3, not 14-2. Sorry.
Oh, I want to. What are his interceptions?
Who?
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo has.
Dak Prescott went 23-4.
23-4.
He threw 4 picks?
4 picks on 459 attempts. So, Tony Romo here has 19-13 in 10 games started, right? He went, let me see here, 36-19 in 16 games started. Really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. 19 picks is a lot,
Yeah.
but that's a really good year.
How many attempts?
520.
So
100 more.
Yeah, just almost 100.
Yeah.
He went 26-14.
What's the
in
most
16.
recent one where he played 16? Or
Most recent. All right, so
Or what's
his last 4 healthier years, right? He played 16, 16, 15, 15, right? So almost full season.
what's the one where he went 12-3?
His 12-3, he went 34-9 with 435 attempts, which is really good.
Yeah, that's what.
That's really, really good.
Was that less than Dak?
That might be less. 459, 435. Yeah, right.
So that's what I'm saying. He could have done it.
But he's
But he also
Tony
did
Romo.
throw-
He's not going to do that.
He also threw 5 more picks
But
and
he-
24 less attempts.
Yeah, but how many more touchdowns did he throw?
Right, 10.
Yeah.
Right.
So
But that's only a 2-to-1 ratio. That's not as good as what his ratio was for the year. He had like a 3.5 for the year. So Dak technically has a better ratio per attempt on that because
and Tony Romo didn't have the number 1 rusher that year.
I'm not sure what year Murray was there. I'll have to check that out.
But I'm saying,
But here's the problem. Like you say that Tony doesn't throw a ton of picks. He didn't have a lot of opportunities to because he missed a lot of games. In 6 games, he threw 7 picks. In 4 games, he threw 7 picks. Those are 2 seasons of his. Though that's a lot. You know what I mean?
It is.
And especially the 7 over 4. So there are years of both. He's up and down. You know what I mean? And you're
I'm
right. He's
saying-
asked to do more for sure.
the last season you had of him, where he played a whole season,
Yeah.
he went 34-9.
Right.
That's probably the closest facsimile to what the team that Dak Prescott took over was.
Right. Yeah.
So you have where Tony Romo has a similar season,
Well, that
And-
was 3 years ago.
touchdown to interception ratio.
That was 3 years ago. That's tough.
It's probably not really that close,
Right,
but the
yeah,
offensive line is probably at least the same.
Yeah. I think that's the year Travis Frederick was drafted. Yeah, you're probably right.
Welcome
Most
to
of that
Cowboy-
offensive line was good.
Welcome to Cowboys talk. Huh?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you have a touchdown to interception ratio. Dak might have you said he has an advantage.
That was also the year that DeMarco led the league. in rushing.
Yeah, so there you go. It's almost identical seasons.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So so Tony Romo can do it,
Right. But he also throws more picks.
but he
Like
throws
that-
more
but
touchdowns. He
that
makes your
point is-
passing offense.
Right. But that's I conceded that. I said, you're right. They probably do score more, but you're going to turn the ball over more. And you were like, I don't know. Not if he had to do what Zeke did, or not if he had to do what Dak did.
Yeah, but he threw less. He threw more and less things. But he
threw
threw
more.
more touchdowns too.
He threw more touchdowns. Yeah, right. So that's what I'm saying. They're going to turn the ball over more, and they're going to score more points.
So yeah, so I don't know. So can you say that they're
Like
going to
fucking
be?
wash.
Can you say they're going to be a worse team?
I just think Tony Romo has shown you that he doesn't do well.
In the playoffs.
He doesn't do well when the season's
Big
on the
spots.
line.
Big spots. He's not
Season's
great.
on the line.
Yeah, so he would have lost in the first round of the playoffs, just
If
like
he
Dak
made it to
Prescott
the
did.
playoffs.
If he made it
They
there.
coasted into the playoffs. They literally sat Zeke in the last game. So
Right.
if the season falls the same way, it's going to end
Right,
up
but that's
the
because
same
they beat
thing.
that. That's because they beat the Giants in like week 15, right? There was like a big.
Yeah, and go look at Dak's games against the Giants. They're not good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But you're
Yeah,
also
yeah, but that's the
here's
one
the
team- yeah,
difference.
neither are Tom
How
Brady's.
many years in the league was he when he had that great season?
Right. Yeah.
that was
Tony,
like almost his last season.
that was 2014.
Okay, so he started when?
2004. So 10 years in.
He was 10 years pro.
He
We're
was
talking
30
about a
he was
rookie.
34.
A rookie.
I said I would take Dak if you asked me right now. I said that.
But you're telling me that he's going to do the same thing as a rookie?
I just showed you that he could. You just statistically showed me that he could.
I think that they would do. It's exactly what
It
I
would be
thought.
an even wash.
It would be a wash. He would
He
turn
would
the ball over more, but they would score more points.
I'd rather not return over the ball.
I'm
If
the
you're
same way. I'm
asking
the same
me,
way. No, I'm the
you're
same way.
asking me who's a. We're
it's not
talking
like
about who's the better quarterback. I don't think it's Tony Romo.
I'll tell you what, and this is just an opinion on how I perceive the quarterback position. I'll take 23-4 over 36-9 any day. Or 34-9.
34-9 is a hell of a season. It's not like a bullshit
No,
season.
I'm
No, it's
not
not.
sneezing at it.
No, it's not. I'm not.
It's
I'm just
also
saying, for
10
me,
years. 10 years in the league.
I would rather 4 picks with 20, mid 20 touchdowns than
What's
9
the yardage?
picks.
Do you have that still?
Dak threw for 36.67, and Romo threw for 37.05.
So pretty.
I see.
So 40,
I think
40 more yards.
I think where I'm factoring it in and changing it based upon the way you're viewing it is I'm looking at it as a fucking rookie
Right.
putting up good numbers.
I agree with you. I'd rather have Dak.
If you put Tony Romo his rookie season
Yeah.
up to that, like, and I get it. You had the league leading rusher. I get that. I'm totally understanding of that. I don't think you take Tony Romo, the undrafted free agent, and do that, and still put up those kind of numbers.
This all stemmed from the fact that Zeke is the face of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's true. I feel like that's a deep cut because that was talked about a while ago.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
No, I just think that the league's view of Dak right now is not very high.
Of Dak or Zeke?
Of Zeke, sorry.
So I was like, God damn it, why'd we do this if you feel that's true? It's like, you guys
the
are
league's
saying
view
this-
of Dak is very high.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But I think Zeke is when I think Dallas Cowboys, I instantly think Ezekiel Elliott. He's the offense to me.
I think, yeah, he's like...
That's
he-
like saying
He's third,
that's like saying
he's third in my mind.
that's
He's
like
third in
saying
my
when
mind.
I still think Des Bryant.
I think
but-
Des Bryant and Dak.
I think that's like saying when the Kansas City Chiefs had Jamal Charles and he was really good that Alex Smith was the face because he was a game manager.
Little different.
I think Dak's really good. And I think that Alex Smith, you already knew what he was.
But it's Jamal Charles' team. It's Ezekiel Elliott's team.
No, yeah. No, I get that. But I also think like they're both rookies, and the quarterback is typically the face of your franchise. So
I just think Zeke gets more credit. When you talk to people around the league, more
Here's what I
people give
think.
credit to Zeke.
here's what I think. I think Zeke will make the Hall of Fame first. I think Dak's going to be known as one of the one of the better quarterbacks of this era.
I need one more season from him.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm only saying that based on the one
I'm going
year.
purely on what I saw this year.
Right. I think Dak will be.
I'm not ready to elevate him yet. I need one more season.
I think Dak is like top 7 quarterback.
I need the season where he's asked to. I want to see a Dak team.
Right. I think that if you go back and watch that divisional round game, that kid showed some nuts, and he did throw a pick in that game, which I can't believe he tried to use that as a crucified.
I still
for a
do because
postseason
they
pick.
asked him to do more.
He had to. They were behind.
I understand that. And
It's not like they said like,
all
okay,
I'm
I guess
saying
we
is
trust you now.
your interception numbers will go up when you're asked to do more. That's
well,
what
yeah,
happens.
yeah,
Unless
right.
you're Aaron Rodgers, your
Right.
interception numbers go up when you're asked to do more.
Right. I agree with that, but I also think that there are guys that can do more without turning the ball over, and Tom Brady's one of them. 28-2.
Yeah, you
Aaron
need
Rodgers,
to find out.
36-4.
You need to find out if Dak is one of those guys.
And I think that Aaron Rodgers throws picks in the postseason, and I think that Tom Brady throws picks in the postseason. I don't think that means that, oh man, like.
But
oh,
you've seen what those guys are when they're asked to do more.
Right.
So you know they're good.
That's what I'm
I'm
saying.
saying you haven't seen what Dak is yet when he's asked to.
So I can't say that he's not.
Yeah, and I can't
Right.
say that
He
he
is,
is.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see what Dak is when he's
Right.
asked to do more.
All right. So that was good.
What is your? What was
Mine
that?
not mad at it?
Yeah.
Mine is Sporty R. McKenzie, who took over WEI for Power Hour the other day.
What's the R stand for?
I don't know. I think it's just like a radio name.
Reginald.
Like, yeah, probably.
Sporty Reginald.
Reginald McKenzie.
Yeah.
Kirk Minahan commonly gets criticized for not talking enough sports on the the Kirk and Callahan show in the morning, and he had the show to himself, and he brought out Sporty R. McKenzie, and they did some really good sports talk. Here's a quick mashup of how that hour went with them.
It's really much ado about nothing. I don't think it's going to prevent women from looking sexy on tour. I think some women
But isn't it
in
really
my opinion.
isn't it really about the great game itself, though? I mean, I understand that there are certain fellas out there who like to look at the legs and the breasts and whatever, but isn't it really ultimately about who plays the best golf in the great game? Jeff, I appreciate you coming on. Maybe we can talk to you again soon, and I hope you hit nothing but fairways and greens, my friend.
That's impossible.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Spieth doesn't even do that.
Oh, don't even get me started. Okay, Jeff. Whoa, you're a hot
Thanks
ticket.
a lot.
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm great. Thanks for having me on, guys. How are you?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. You covered swimming, and I understand it was a big weekend for Katie Ledecky.
Yeah, well, she just started her World Swimming Championship schedule. The first day was Sunday. She won a couple of gold medals, but it was tough for her. It was not an easy day that first day.
I hope she didn't race a shark. And we'll let you go with this last question. I was having a spirited debate with the missus the other night. Who is the greatest flip turner of all time in swim history?
That's a good question. I think a lot of people would tell you Michael Phelps.
That's who I said, Nick. I said Michael Phelps because I think if flip turns, I think he's the best of all time, and you're agreeing with me. That means a lot, Nick. Thank you so much. May all your dives be perfect. That's Nick Siccardi from NBC Sports. Sporty R. McKenzie here, and I love you.
Sporty R. McKenzie here, and I love you. I thought it was a great bit that he did. It was really funny, and I feel bad for the guests that came on because they were like really doing sports interviews, and it was a total mock session.
Were they aware that it was
going to
be a mock?
I don't know. I mean, because I love the way like may all your drives hit fairways and greens, my friend. Like and all those stupid sign offs. I thought it was really funny. I tweeted him for the B.S. Nerds account. He retweeted it, which got like 17,000 views. Just crazy.
It's a good look.
So Kirk Minahan, Sporty R. McKenzie, I thought it was hilarious. I thought that was really good. It's just funny.
Sporty McKenzie, we love you.
Sporty McKenzie, I love you.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a book.
All right, so Joe, let's bring it back around to you. What is your Bach talk?
My Bach talk is not a Bach talk in the traditional sense where we kind of highlight someone who said something stupid and kind of bag on them for a second. My Bach talk is my Bach talk because I'm just upset because the sport that I love the most is kind of in some hot water right now. The study came out that I think it was 111 out of 112 deceased football players who donated their brains to science had signs of CTE, which is 99%. And also, they found 87% of people who have played football at any level have signs of CTE. And I heard a story today. Do you remember, was it Mike Henry, the one that was friends with Chris Johnson that died?
Oh, yeah, Chris Henry.
Chris Henry. He got into the traffic accident. He like jumped off the.
Yeah, no, the whole thing with his girlfriend.
Yeah, he had CTE.
Yeah.
All through his brain, and like really advanced CTE at 25.
Yep.
So it's not a good look for football. Of course, the NFL hasn't said shit about it and just completely ignore it.
They've been trying to bury the lead on concussions forever.
But that is like I always said, like, I want my kid to play football, blah, blah. I don't know if I do anymore. If I eventually have a kid, I don't.
It's tough.
Hey, flag football all the way, but I don't know if I want you hitting people. And I love football. I played football growing up.
Yep. New information changes a lot of stuff.
That is,
that was tough.
Granted, I don't think, like, yes, you have CTE, but I think there's differences in, like, the CTE I have and the CTE that, well, not that I know
Junior
that I have.
Seau has.
Yeah,
right.
that Junior Seau had that led him to shoot himself. You know what I mean? Like, obviously there's differing...
Right. Like you said, like, he had a high level of CTE for Chris Henry.
Also,
like
we don't know, like, have they done studies on people who played soccer or boxing?
Or even, like, NBA, baseball. Is there
I do feel that they have. I did watch something that they talked about soccer.
You know what I mean? Is it? Do they still have CTE?
Soccer has a really high concussion rate.
Yeah.
Soccer does.
So, I mean,
I don't know about like
really
basketball
safe?
or baseball. Like that's the thing. Like I think there's probably
that's
some
why when I
sports.
laugh when people are like, "Oh, play soccer," I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Sure.
yeah, hit the ball with your head." That
go
makes a
nuts.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a lot of difference.
Is it kind of like being a germaphobe, being worried about CTE, or is it like...
yeah, it's true.
Because I don't understand germaphobes, but to me the CTE thing seems real.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've fallen out. I've jumped off of snowbanks, slipped, smacked my head, wake up on the fucking ice.
Right.
I've fallen out of trees, smacking my head on every branch on the way down. I've fallen out of go-karts. I've smacked my head doing all kinds of stupid shit.
Jesus Christ.
You don't have to just play sports.
Right, it could happen
I guess
anywhere. Right.
the thing is, though, is you did all of those things accidentally. You didn't volunteer your head to smack on the ice, which is kind of what you're doing.
No, but what I'm saying is I still went and played football and did those things.
Oh yeah,
Right.
So it doesn't.
So you're all screwed up. Yeah.
No, I don't want to compare myself to a professional
100%
athlete
have CTE. There's
at
no doubt
all.
about it.
But I think these guys, you ask any of them, and it has nothing to do with where they're from, their upbringing. There's guys that they came from a wealthy family, they played football, and they got out. They wouldn't change a fucking thing.
Right.
They're not Kurt Warner, where Kurt Warner's like, yeah, I'm not letting my kids play football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tom Brady came from a wealthy family.
Right.
He fucking loves football.
Yeah, and he doesn't.
I don't know if he won't let his kids
I was
play.
going to say,
I think he said
don't
he
know.
is. I think I think he said he would.
I don't know.
I thought they asked him about. Or I'm sorry, I thought they asked him about that at some point. I thought he said it's a great game.
I love football.
How could I tell him to not do what I'm doing?
I was
You know what I mean?
gung ho about having my kids play and
Right.
and coaching their teams and stuff like that, but I just don't. Granted, CTE is something that you might never feel the effects of. You know what I mean?
Right. You could. Right.
You could live a whole life and maybe you get a little memory loss or like, but that just happens with old age too. Like,
Yep.
Well, that was going to be the comment I made about it.
or
is,
maybe you are deathly suicidal and shoot yourself in the chest. Like,
Yeah. Who knows?
No, but I think that for somebody to say like, "Oh, well, when you get older, you just forget," those people have lived a life.
Right.
People have been in car accidents and smacked
Right.
their head by the airbag.
Right.
Like you're still taking blows in everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens, man.
That's true. Yeah. No, that's a good point.
I don't know. I just it's not good optics for
It's not a good look for the league
for
at
NFL,
all.
and
Right.
it's my favorite sport. So I'm down in the dumps about it. So that is why it's my bog talk.
The NBA in 10 years
No,
will be the
dude.
most money.
Get out of here with that nonsense.
You see, they're starting the ads
For what?
on the jerseys. They're gonna be making money.
Yeah, I think every football won't ever do it, but
Right. They're too proud. But
basketball should have done it a long time ago.
they're starting that up.
I'm down with it.
I saw
Do it
in NBA 2K18 actually the photo releases for the game.
Mm-hmm.
They showed the Celtics jersey with the GE.
I think they should
commercial on
only
it.
allow one advertiser though.
I think you should do one per jersey. So like
Different alternates and stuff like that.
that, yeah. Well, I just mean like for a game. If GE wants to sponsor October 30th or whatever, and then they put the stitch on that jersey, I don't want two. And then if the next night Pepsi wants to do it, you know what I mean? Then whatever.
Oh yeah, but I
don't mind
think
if
you
it-
should
but
only allow one.
one at a time.
At a time,
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah,
shouldn't
yeah,
have like a jersey with just
It looks like a NASCAR. Or
Yeah.
yeah, right. I agree with that. What do you got for Bach Talk, man?
Mine's pretty quick and easy. Lucky Whitehead being waived by the Cowboys, and he said he was basically told by the Cowboys he's a liar.
Yeah, he said Jason Garrett looked him in the eyes and called him a liar.
The other Bach part of that is you got claimed by the Jets.
Yeah,
You're on the Jets now.
that sucks.
That's the
Maybe
only.
you'll actually get to play because the Jets receiving core is dookie.
Yeah, but they also have no quarterback to throw to him.
Hey,
Would you rather?
if I'm him, I'm happy I'm in the NFL.
Yeah, but
He has
didn't
no
do
control
anything. He
over who
got
claims
cleared. He got cleared of it. It wasn't him. Another team would have got him.
That's a tough break to go from
To
the
go
Cowboys
from the
to the
Cowboys
Jets for
to
something
the
that didn't.
Jets.
He has no control over it.
No,
right?
they claimed him
They
off the
claimed
waivers.
him, so it's not
That's
like
what I'm
he-
saying.
yeah.
It sucks for him
Yeah.
to be told you're a liar, get cleared, and now you're on the fucking Jets.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks, but he caught like 9 passes with the Cowboys. Maybe he'll actually get time on the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, it might be an
and
opportunity.
Then,
but
if you manage to do good on the fucking Jets,
right,
maybe you can spin that into spin zone. Now I'm on
the Dolphins,
the Patriots, because we take all of our
all of
our division rivals.
They'd probably go to the Bills.
Yeah, that's probably true. And then he would go to the Patriots because we definitely take
Eventually,
all the Bills players. Yeah,
now
right.
when he's older and Chris Hogan
that's true.
he's only like 25, so
yeah.
No, that was just my whole point. Is like
that's a
you
tough
just
break.
get told you're a liar. You get this
also,
whole thing.
You heard the details about the story?
No, I just saw that the guy they did end up catching the guy that actually did it. It was shoplifting.
They caught the guy who did it.
Yep.
Shoplifting. He dropped Lucky Whitehead's name, address, and social security number off the top of his head.
Holy shit.
Because he didn't have his ID. They're like, who are you? Oh, I'm Lucky Whitehead. This is my address. This is my social security number. So they were like, all right, we got Lucky Whitehead. Skipped his bail. Skipped his hearing.
Right.
So they were like, put the warrant out for Lucky Whitehead's arrest.
Right.
They arrested him, and Lucky Whitehead was like, dude, what?
Yeah. Holy shit.
They get Lucky Whitehead, they look at him like, this isn't the guy that we arrested. So
Right.
then they realize that the guy just lied to him.
That's incredible.
And then they're like, hey, by the way, some dude has your social security number.
Right. That's crazy.
It's a little rough.
That's intense.
I think it's someone he knows.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, social security number is odd. And you could literally just be like a identity thief.
Yeah, maybe.
To get that.
But
because
what are the...
I don't have his social security number.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Or yours.
Little known fact, I have both of yours.
Let the record state, I do have yours.
So now that you know I have your social security number, tell me you disagree with me with Dak Prescott again.
Dak Prescott's a better quarterback than
and
Tony
it's on the internet.
That's it. It's posted. Tune in to next week's Joe's Fantasy Field Goal for Aaron's social security number.
Each point will be a different segment of it.
My Bach talk
072.
My Bach talk is Chiefs defensive lineman Tamba Ali, for no fucking good reason at all, just brought up. Here's another take. I'm not sure what the context was.
I do. I know what it was.
You know what the question was?
Read what it is first.
All right. So the quote is, here's another take. Should we blame Mr. Kraft for allowing his staff to draft a human being who murdered people for stepping on his shoes? But he also used the high heel emoji, which I thought was an insult. But
so
what's the angle?
The context of this is Tamba Ali went to Penn State, and he is a Joe Paterno apologist.
Gotcha.
So he's saying Joe Paterno didn't know about Sandusky's thing. Why do we punish Joe Paterno for stuff that Sandusky did?
Should we go after Kraft?
That's like going after Robert Kraft for having Aaron Hernandez on his team.
That's actually not a bad quote.
It is because Joe Paterno knew about it.
Yeah, Joe Paterno knew about it, right? Yeah,
and didn't do anything.
At least it fits the.
It makes the
narrative
quote,
for what he wants.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he made his point, even though it's still kind of wrong.
That's like trying to say Robert Kraft knew that Aaron Hernandez was going there and shooting motherfuckers.
Hold on, I'm gonna jump on his side on this one.
Yeah,
he is right though, because Paterno, to your point, did know.
Right,
he barred him from being around the team. Kraft found out about Hernandez
and cut his ass.
No, barred him. He showed up at the field. Remember, he went and talked to Patriot officials. They barred him. They're like, "Don't ever come here again."
Right.
Same shit.
Right.
Same shit.
But
and then as soon as he's gone, like you're like, "Oh, I don't know."
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't a part of that.
I don't know. The details on how much Paterno knew are sketchy, though. Like,
no, I know. I'm not.
They say that. No, they say that Paterno.
I'm not
knew
okay with what happened with Sandusky and Paterno. I'm not okay with what happened.
Have you ever listened to the Minahan podcast where he has a guy on that
who's
he believes that he knows that Sandusky's innocent?
Yeah.
Oh man.
No, I didn't watch
that.
It's
a tough listen.
It is a tough listen. And that's what he's like. He says, "Let me tell you what's going on in that basement. The only other person that's been in that basement is Matt Lauer." And Kirk Minahan says, "Oh yeah, I'm sure that when Jerry Sandusky showed Matt Lauer his basement, he wasn't trying to fit his dick in Matt Lauer's mouth."
Yeah.
Right? And then the guy's like, "Oh, real classy." He says, "Oh, real classy? You want to talk about real classy? You're saying that Jerry Sandusky is innocent, and you're calling the 18-year-old kid that claimed he was raped by an adult a fucking liar. You want to talk about class?" I was like, "Holy shit!" That's a good episode.
Yeah, they've had that guy on WEI a couple times.
Yeah, he's a fucking psycho. He's nuts. I mean, the guy, I'll give him credit, has done a lot of research. Like, the guy's done his shit, his fair share of building a case.
Yeah. So do the people who think Sandy Hook is a hoax. So.
Right. Yes, very valid. Very valid point. So, yeah, all right, Tom Ali, you're on my Bach Talk, but...
You've redeemed yourself
a little bit. I thought it was just, like, out of left.
No, yeah.
I knew that there was
the Twitter tirade he went on seemed like out of nowhere.
Right.
But it was about Joe Paterno.
Right.
And then he kind of weaseled.
It's a relatable narrative. I don't agree with it, but at least there's a method.
I mean, it's the same level. If you think about it, they tore down his statue. Hernandez, they tore out all his...
They killed him.
Yeah, well, it doesn't exist, yeah.
Well, no, but like down at Florida, they literally ripped up the tile that had his name.
Oh, really?
All American, like they put a stone on their walkway for all their All Americans, national championship
the Patriots
players.
Brought back all the jerseys and shit like that.
Yeah, so it's this very similar.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, so Tom Ali, you're on my
not shit list. 100%.
You're not on.
You're still
list,
a Kansas City Chief.
You will not get nominated for my favorite box.
Keep the Patriots name out your mouth.
But do that. And Robert Kraft, as I said on Facebook, Robert Kraft will enable the murder of the Kansas City Chiefs on opening day this season.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what you got to watch out for.
It's closing time, nerds.
All right.
Alrighty then.
Aaron, what do you got, bud?
I'm just gonna plug my other podcast that I'm gonna record on Saturday.
Perfect.
WECP.
Boom, boom, boom.
With the heels of podcasting.
We're gonna do a mini review of WWE Battleground and how we thought it went. Review the Thor Ragnarok trailer, Justice League trailer, Ready Player One trailer.
I've heard about this. That sounds fucking awesome.
It looks good. It's got some old school references to some cool old movies, cool old video games, and everything.
It's based on a book. I know that.
I don't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, it is based on a book.
And also our little bit of maybe what Jerry picked up from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, nice.
Teaser there.
What $1 million purchases?
Yeah. And toy hunting, what we picked up in the past couple weeks. Hashtag Fig Life.
There you go. Hashtag Fig Life. I like that. I scoffed at you saying you're going to do a review of Battleground, not at the fact that I'm not interested in what you have to say. That was just a bad pay-per-view. So that's why I laughed. I didn't mean that as God, boring review. No, it's just I
mean, anything with Kofi Kingston having to win the championships with that bag of dicks that he wrestles with, it's a piece of shit. You know, Xavier Woods is a piece of shit.
Xavier Woods, yeah.
I don't like him.
No, I look forward to it, and that's going to be another episode.
Did you see the thing? I think Barstool posted it of video of Kenny Omega reacting when he forgot his belt.
No, I didn't see that.
He forgot his belt in the back when he was wrestling, and he was like, "What the fuck? I forgot my belt. Fuck. Someone's gonna be pissed." I guess they were saying in the article that because it's New Japan Pro Wrestling, a lot of the guys, what'd you call them, gaijins that are not Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times when they're talking in the ring, they just say whatever they want because the Japan audience can't understand them.
Some of them, yeah.
So the Young Bucks, they said, will always push their merch to the American fans.
That's
because the Japanese people don't know what they're saying. So
they buy their stuff anyway.
Yeah, so they'll just be like, buy Young Buck shit.
That's awesome. That's cool. What do you got? Well, were you done? My bad.
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? I'm pumped for that. I really want to hear what Jerry and you have to say about that fucking pay-per-view. So that'll be interesting.
I will still listen to it, even though I have not seen anything that you talked about.
It's a good show. And also, there might be some music right?
Yes, I've been feverishly working on sound.
Perfect. Yeah, so we got a new intro song for that show, which will be really, really good. I'm pumped for that. So, yeah, definitely check that out next week. What do you got for closing time?
I have a podcast that I don't have new intro song for. It's the same intro song, but it is going to be hitting your ears every week.
Boom.
From now until the end of football season. And then it'll probably be bi-weekly again after that. Or maybe I'll stop it for a while because what the fuck we're going to talk about after football season.
I don't think February
I'm not
8th.
doing fantasy basketball.
Right.
Although I did win that league too. Shots fired.
All right. So we got some pods coming out.
Yeah.
So
Joe's Fantasy Field Goal will be going weekly starting August 1st.
That's big.
August 1st will be my next episode, and then weekly after that. It's also going to get a little bit more structured once we get into the football season. Probably have right now it's just kind of 3 random points that I can think of. Once we get into the football season, it'll probably be the same 3 points. Like
starter sit,
right. Waiver wire wonders, and maybe a little bit of news at the start or something like that.
Best matchups or something. Yeah, right.
So games to watch or something like that.
Lock of the week.
Yeah,
right.
Lock of the week. I'll have to do a drop for that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But yeah, so we are going weekly, people, and I will set up the best ball league. And set the draft for sometime in late August.
Awesome.
So we'll do that. You can win a B.S. Nerds hat.
There we go.
Which we talked about at the beginning of the pod.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not winning my hat.
You're not going to get the Aaron
sweated in one.
Yeah, right.
It is. So, but yeah, the winner of the Fantasy Field Goal League will get the hat.
Yep.
And I think we just narrow it down to the B.S. Nerds hat. I said it when we first said it. I think we said just a hat of your choosing.
Well, we didn't have the B.S. Nerds option.
But fuck off.
Right.
You're getting a Nerds hat. So
right. That's definitely happening.
But yeah, so that's it. Fantasy Field Goal.
It's a free hat.
Weekly. Join the league. Once I set it up, it'll be play draft, best ball. All we're going to do is draft. That way I don't have to worry about you schmucks fucking it up. And you can win a hat.
That's perfect. Mine is just the busy week we've had.
Yep.
Mine is we were really, really busy. We had the really big podcast last week with Michael Holly.
Mm-hmm.
That took a lot out of me.
Yeah.
Right? I was just exhausted after that spin.
Dave is so tired after talking to his old friend Michael Holly.
And there's so much to catch up on.
Yeah.
Then Saturday on a whim, Aaron and I were like, hey, he's doing a book signing in Framingham. What are you doing today? Nothing. Do you want to go? Yeah.
Hey, let's see what Joe's doing. Oh, that didn't happen.
Fuck off.
That didn't happen. That's right. Oh, maybe Joe wants to go to the books. No, you know what? Conveniently, I don't think I have Joe's number in my phone.
That's also true.
We actually don't have your number.
Yeah, that's true. We only talk on Messenger.
That is true. Aaron did bring it up right before the podcast last week, if we can defend ourselves here. And we're like, wow, do you want to go? Like, yeah, that'd be cool. We should go. And Joe's like, cool. And we were like, all right.
Obviously, he's not interested.
Like, right, obviously, he doesn't want to go. Okay.
I think I went golf. Nope, that was Sunday. I don't think I did anything on Saturday.
Well, son of a bitch, if you were a little more.
I went to a cookout party, so.
There you go.
I mean, if you seemed more excited about it, we might have asked.
You didn't seem like you were in. You
didn't seem pumped, sir.
Oh, fuck you guys.
Okay, all right. So,
I mean, we got some good feedback from him.
We did. Michael Holly was very gracious again with his time, but what was weird was like it felt like he wanted us to stay and talk to him.
I'm willing to help.
That was like he was like, I still got books to sign. Where are you guys going or whatever? So he stayed, talked to us.
Were you guys just like standing and talking to him while he was signing other people's books?
No. But there was a line of people. And he
spent half an hour with you guys? Because that seems very disrespectful.
Finished them up. He finished them up, and then was just like, we were like, all right, well, thanks again. We went to go leave. Like, all right, thanks, because he went to go buy the book, so he had to go pay.
Yeah.
So he came back, and we're like, all right, thanks again for everything.
We forgot to take a photo.
Oh, that's what it was.
The whole reason why
we went back to go
opened
take
up the
a picture.
Conversation with him again.
And then he was like, all right, and we're like, all right, thanks. He's like, where are you going? Like, you asked me before we hung up last week. Do I have any questions for you? He's like, I got a lot of questions. I was just walking into Comcast, and I had to go. So I got a lot of questions for you guys. He was asking how we got started, how he loves the name. He's going to be touching base with us and all this stuff. So it was really, really good.
Do we send him a hat?
I sent him the link to buy it. So he was like, I need that hat. I was
Thanks
like,
for being on the
link.
show. Buy a hat.
Right.
Ask him for the address to WEI. I'll send it to him.
You get him one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys ever feel like... We'll probably cut this part out. Do you guys ever feel like you're worried about coming off stalkerish?
Yeah, right. No,
that's why I'm saying WEI, not his home address.
Right, yeah. Like, hey, send me your home
Hey,
address.
Michael, messaging you again.
Right.
What's your address?
Right. That's right. There was, like, we were talking about, like, oh, man, I wonder if we can get that retweet. And it was just like...
Hey, Michael, showed up at your thing. Hey, Michael, can I get the address? Hey,
just,
Michael.
Hey,
Michael.
I put it out there. I was like, I can't ask him anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't, like, I've reached my message, like, one-sided conversation threshold.
Yeah,
like,
because
I can't.
it stinks when you feel like you're being bothersome
Right,
to someone.
right. Yeah.
He retweeted about the hat.
Retweeted the hat.
He did retweet the hat.
Retweet the hat. And I think that's a content contract deal.
I agree. I don't think he purposely did.
Yeah, I don't think he screwed us there. And I even if he was just like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Then okay, whatever. We still had him on. He was great. It was a good conversation.
I can't wait to have him back on.
We're gonna have him back on again. That's great. And then so we followed that up. So Wednesday podcast, Saturday meet Michael Holly. Tuesday we did the crossover podcast, which you could watch live on Facebook. You couldn't hear a fucking thing.
Yeah, pass the effing popcorn with Liz Reed.
With Liz Reed. Liz Reed and Liz Reed only.
Yeah, only Liz Reed. the best host that there is.
Right, Liz Reed.
The one and only Liz Reed. It's her show.
It's her show.
Her by herself.
Right. It's Liz Dizzle Reed.
Liz Dizzle, yeah.
And
my good friend Liz Dizzle.
And you told me I wouldn't do the podcast with my shirt off. I did take my shirt off.
He took his shirt off in the bowling alley.
Did you guys play the music?
No.
Yeah, Liz probably,
Right.
You don't want to disrespect Liz.
Of course.
Yeah.
The best host in the business.
And only Liz.
Right.
Wow.
So Liz, and only Liz.
Yeah.
Liz Dizzle. So we did that. That was a lot of fun. That was a long fucking night.
Chad and Liz are very gracious.
Wait, what? Who?
Chad and Liz are very gracious.
Yes, Liz is very gracious.
So no, the podcast was a lot of fun. We had a really good time. It was a long night, man. Like that, we did a lot of talking, but it was good. And I'm working on getting the audio fixed because we were recording on two different devices at the same time, and it was just a lot of
no
headphones, stuff. No headphones, nothing. It was not the most ideal situation for that, but I'm trying to get.
I was wondering why Aaron was just screaming into his mic, just. Guys, I really like Glow. It's awesome.
That could be just because I was excited.
Yeah, I was going to say he did that on the way up to meet Michael Holly.
I gave it a 49 or a 48. I gave it a 48.
Hi, Michael Holly. It's really nice to meet you.
You'll like this. We gave a rating of 14 to 49. What'd you think of the show?
It's arbitrary.
Arbitrary. He gave it a 48.
48 what? 48.
It was 48 out of 49.
48.
No points.
Pillow fights out of 50.
48 pillow fights out of 49 hot dogs.
48 empty popcorn bags out of trash cans.
Right. Yeah, that was it.
There you go.
So he gave it a 48, almost perfect.
48 squirts of butter.
So then we turn right around. We do our own podcast this week. We've also got business cards coming in. Mm-hmm. We got flyers made.
We got a hat.
We got a hat made. We're in a store.
Yeah.
We're in a digital store. We've had a big week. And I'm excited about the momentum, I think, of the brand and the podcast. And be on the lookout for those cards, the hats, the potential T-shirts, and just another big week.
I'm literally going to take the posters and just, like, make it rain through, like, people's faces. Just
well, that leads to a lot of paper cuts.
Walking down the road, just like, hey, have you heard of the Boston Sports Nerds? Oh, no. There's like 10.
There you go.
That's probably a waste of posters, but
I would say tune in next week. As always, share it with your friends. Rate, review, subscribe. Go on iTunes. Check us out. We got a bunch of good content coming up the next week.
Be on the lookout.
WECP, Joe's Fantasy Field Goal. B.S. Nerds will be back. Dave Speaks sooner than later.
By the way, Joe's Fantasy Field Goal is coming out Tuesday.
Yep.
That Thursday, do you know what we have?
What's that?
The very first NFL game of the season.
Oh,
the
nice.
Hall of Fame preseason game.
There we go. We'll be recording during that.
Will be happening. So football. You guys smell that?
It is.
You smell that? That's football
air.
season.
There we go. Very good. All right.
Smells like sweaty pads and grass.
I'm shutting this podcast off. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Adios.